Recreation Board meeting February 3rd with everybody present except for Burke Serafian so far. And we want to welcome our new member.
Yay!
How do you say your last name?
Biscio. It's kind of like bingo, but put an S in it.
Biscio?
Biscio.
Biscio.
American
Jean
Italian.
Biscio.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you.
Okay, so everybody got a copy of the agenda, and we all could take a look at it, and I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Make a motion to approve the agenda for February 3rd meeting.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Okay, so we have to do the approval of the January 13 minutes. Everybody received those from Patty, correct?
No,
I did not see those either.
I emailed Patty about that, and she said she didn't receive them. Well, I emailed her a couple days ago, so she said she didn't get them from,
Oh, she hasn't gotten them from Burke yet?
well,
Okay.
it would be you, because Burke wasn't here the last meeting.
No, Burke got a copy of the flash drive, and he was supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Burke. Let the record show Burke is
Hello,
here. Burke
Burke.
Serafian is here, so everybody's present.
Good to see you. Where do I sit?
Right here. Well, actually, I recommend you scoot either one, only because I spread out well.
Good morning, George. Or good
Hi, Burke,
afternoon.
how are you?
Hi, Burke.
Hi. Lisa, good to see you.
Okay, so we're looking for the approval of the January 13 meeting minutes. Do you by any chance have those, or?
No. I mean, I have them there at home. I just came from Krabby Bill's, had lunch with Matt.
Oh,
And we'll talk about it, but I think a 5K run in the community would be good. And he'll sponsor it, one of the sponsors.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But,
Well, right now,
work
we're
out
looking
one
to
there,
approve the
and so
meeting
give it
minutes,
time.
so
We'll have to-
wait until we get to the other part for that. Okay, I have to stay on a strict schedule, I'm sorry, because we have a council meeting tonight right after this, so, and we have a big agenda to get through.
We're gonna
So-
have to wait till
So,
next
so
time.
we are going, I need a motion to, I guess we're not going to approve the minutes, so I want to
Yeah,
see
we
We'll
how.
have
don't
to-
have them.
I make a motion, we delay approving the minutes till our
Until-
next meeting.
To our
There you go.
next
That's a good
official regular meeting,
Yeah.
in case we have to do a special meeting.
Sounds good. I second that motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
What is the next official?
Well, we'll set
haven't
that at
made-
the end. We always set that at the end, so. Okay, so now we're gonna do the consideration of the car show planning, okay?
Yeah.
So when we talk about, did you get a copy of the agenda?
I did.
Okay, I don't have my distance glasses on, so. When we talk about the car show plan, and I did some homework on it, and I met with the city manager on a lot of stuff, but anyhow, he gave us copies. Do you have a copy for Burke, Kyle?
Thank you, Nick.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
this is actually the registration form he is comfortable with us basically using, except for we would change the car format stuff, okay? So, that's something that we need to work on. I have,
Seems like a large number of categories.
it is a large number of categories, and trying to keep with the,
You're missing muscle car.
That's Mopar. Mopar, the muscle
Oh,
cars.
is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Chrysler Mopar.
Right.
It's Mopar.
That's, yeah.
okay, so when we talk about the categories, that's what I'm looking at right now. I need from you all so I can make up the flyer, okay? And when I started investigating what this entails, I have to tell you, that's why I just stopped in my tracks making up the flyer, because we would have had to start, I would have had to start all over again. So we need to create what the classes are gonna be, what we decide, like, overall, I would say, overall, one. Most original. Best in show, I guess is what I want to say, best in show. You can also do best in show from, like, cars from 1950 to 1960, or, and you can have best in show for each one of those classes. So that's something to think about. So, I don't know, is anybody comfortable with that, or, I'm opening for suggestions, please.
I don't know enough about car shows.
Yeah,
To
it's a
know
little
what
bit
this, kind of what the standard categories are. Does anybody know from,
My husband has been to a lot of them. He'd be
Okay,
willing.
yeah.
I asked him about his, if we could get his feedback, and he said absolutely. June, if you want to involve him, he would be
Okay.
happy to do it.
Well, we're coming on the heels, so, yes, I will have to, call him on the phone.
Okay.
Okay, so, and I am allowed to appoint subcommittees as the chairman. So what I have, I did a little homework on it. Okay, we have, you know, there's different classes. There's unique, earliest entry, nostalgic, under construction, most original, import, compact cars, sports car, hot rod, street rod, factory muscle cars, woodies. I have no idea what.
Well,
those
those
Yeah,
are the
those
circle
that have the wooden
sides,
sides.
panels on the
Oh.
side.
yeah,
Those are from the
station wagon?
our generation,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
40s
From
and
the 30s and 40s.
30s and 40s.
Okay, so, that's some of the things that I was able to find. And you know, it's not that easy to find those things.
No.
It really isn't. The car shows will give you like, oh, come here. This is the name of it, but, so we have Best in Show. We have car, truck, import, 55 Chevy, Ford, antique, classic. These are things by decade, by model, by brand. Time frames, they have 19 to 1920s, 1920 period, 1930 period, 1940 period. So antique, classic, prestige, Model T, Model A, Studebaker, pre-war, post-war.
Right.
So, I'm lost already. Are we trying to limit the categories or expand the
We're trying to
categories?
limit them. I'm throwing out some ones that I had found on the internet.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm just, so we have a list because I have to get that flyer made. I think what we should do is basically, I saw a flyer out there where it just said antique car show, okay?
Yep.
And then we will just pick the classes out and see what kinds of cars are coming in that are interested in it. I think would be, because we've never did one before,
So-
I think that way we could kind of tailor it towards the end.
So then
I
there's,
think would be a good way to handle it. So what do you think?
the registration form then needs to have, they have to indicate what class they would be in.
They have to, yeah, right. So we'll have to put on there, it says entry year, make, model, right on here, say at the top. So that would cover, I would suggest eliminating the GMO par, all that stuff out of there.
Yep.
Yeah, just a muscle car. You know, in Florida, you can get an antique plate 25 years or older. So that was
20,
1995.
isn't it 20?
Sure can.
It might be 20, yeah.
Yes, 20.
So you're looking at relatively modern cars, so you might
Right.
want to.
How many cars are you
You really want to see
expecting?
cars from the 1980s and 90s.
Well, how many can we house?
I think you should probably cut it off at 78,
You try to do it all in this,
or maybe when the catalytic converters came out, like 72.
on this side?
No, the car show will be over in the park.
In basement.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Okay.
What do we say?
Well, because what we're gonna do is put the cars in the park, close off the park.
No, at one time we said we were gonna put them out here, but people might not want to drive their nice
Oh, in the parking
cars
lot.
in the,
Yeah, I mean, either.
in
place.
the, on the
Well,
dirt.
I'll leave it up to you all. What do you wanna do? Then we'll have to go to, coming up with a
Oh, you need
street
parking,
parking
yeah,
plan.
so no, parking here and then,
Show down there.
yeah, that'd be nice.
Then how many do you think we can,
Because the mayor has a Corvette, and we did Corvettes at the pier, and it was in a park, and it was under trees and stuff, they just
Yeah,
kind of
just go
inspect it.
muscle car.
So, you know, you can go, say, pre-1940s up to, why don't we say, to 1980s.
1980
Well-
tops.
1980s, does that sound good with everybody?
Cut off. Mhm.
So we'll say from 1900s to, why don't we just say 1900s to 1980 models, okay?
if someone brings in a 1900 car, they win.
Yeah, they win, period.
Yeah, I mean, did they have cars in 1900?
I don't know.
1903, I think, was.
Wasn't that the first
Yeah.
Model T?
Model A.
Model A,
Model A.
Model T, Model T, yeah.
Yeah, I think 1899 maybe, but.
Prior,
but-
it's way before my time.
Geos, I think.
I think Daimler or Mercedes had 1890, but nobody's gonna have that, so yeah, you can put 1990.
Yeah, we're good?
Well,
The reason I ask
do we-
how many
okay.
is because this is so broad right here,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna mean anything if there's one Corvette and you win the Corvette award.
Oh, we're not gonna
Right,
have.
so she
Yeah.
just said monthly.
So
You're
we-
right, Mark. You're
Yeah,
right.
we need to have like a couple awards and then it means more because you're gonna have this broad category of cars,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you might have one Model
This
T,
car's
one
gonna
Corvette,
look
you
right
know?
there.
Well, and that's the thing, that's how we,
Everybody's gonna
when we start getting people that are, you
Then
know,
you'll know.
in,
what
or
you
we'll
got.
know what, how we
Yeah.
wanna make the classes, that's why we're saying we'll have to.
So they get a,
Having fun.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
you having fun, Mark? Okay, good.
Sorry.
So we can, the plan is to kind of get rid of this stuff and
Get
ask
rid of
them
that.
to produce a category and
Right,
they put their name into the category in here for us.
right.
Replace all of that. Then when we get all these categories, we have to make a decision how to group them.
How to group them, and that's where we'll probably have a special, meeting.
Yeah,
And then we'll lay them out, and then George will get with Kyle.
Kyle,
Well, I've got permission from the city manager already, so George will get with Kyle and pick out the trophies that we're going to be using for the
Okay.
event. So we already have, we have about $3,000 worth of trophies donated to us. So all we have to do is just pay for
3,000
the
trophies?
Do that.
$3,000
$3,000.
trophies.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trophies.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was a lot of trips to go pick them up. I got them donated. So all we have to do is change out the nameplates. So that's the only cost involved for us. So we have a lot of
Do they have
trophies.
cars on the trophies, or are these
No,
like
but
golf
see, when they do
trophies
the,
that-
when they change out the medallion and the nameplate, they can put a car medallion actually on it. I went to the trophy place that we use, and they have those things, so, yeah, we're good.
Going back to the amount of cars again, do you have an idea, like, of a limit?
Well, I was thinking, I mean, if you utilize the park, you really have a lot of space.
Right.
In Oldsmobile,
Yeah.
we've pulled cars in on the grass, it's not
Sure.
anything
Right.
special, so.
Right.
So do you have an idea of what the maximum you think you
Well,
would
what is it
want
normally?
for
How many
logistics?
spots did we have? Do you remember? Carl?
Well, we had 13 regular spots and 2 handicap actually marked, but then you have all the space around the
Right.
circle.
And then we can
Grass.
utilize
You got the basketball.
at basketball court, we could probably put, what, 3 over there,
More than that.
4?
that's a big basketball.
Well, remember, people want to open their doors, these are homeowners.
Open their
Are we
hood,
advertising
everything
only
else.
to the community again, or beyond?
Well, we're gonna go beyond, but how it's gonna be is, Bel Beach residents first. So until it fills up, you know, and
And
then.
you're advertising beach,
How
We'll
many
do the-
cars do you
Well, yeah,
think
he'll
can
be
fit in
here,
that
so
basketball
he will
court?
advertise in the
At
beach
least 6.
space.
That's what I would say.
But-
And then I have, I don't know what that other Beller magazine
50
is,
by
that guy
50.
Griffin,
So,
he
So-
emailed me the
We're
other
looking at
day, he
23
wants some
spaces
more
so far,
advertisement from us for our
with the
event,
13
so,
spaces,
I-
or
what are
plus
the
2
13 spaces,
handicap.
the
Top
actual
of it.
spaces?
Yes,
Okay.
he was saying that
And
we're just
then,
adding it up, so plus 2
We can't put it on
handicap.
next door, we
and then
are
the
allowed
6 in the
to
basketball
put it
court,
on
and he
next
said
door.
4 more.
So,
so the Bel Air charging us,
So,
or
let's see,
they?
20.
no, we just,
So
I
we have
speak about it
25
at the
now?
council
Definite.
meetings, he does the report, and then it makes the paper.
Who's here?
Wayne Ayers, the
What
reporter.
is he, is he the owner of the?
No, he said anytime we have an event, or if I email him with it, he'll put it in the
Was a
paper.
publisher for the,
No, he's a reporter, but he
oh,
said
he's a
he'll.
reporter, okay,
Yeah, he
Yeah, yeah,
said he
just
will
one.
get it in there, so
okay.
I kind of have him on direct email. So,
Lisa
Can I
just figured out,
Proposal, we cutting down these categories to maybe 4.
Yeah.
okay.
Here's my suggestion.
No, but they always do, like participation. So everybody gets something. So that's where, remember, we have those small trophies?
Right, but the categories to judge best in show
Right.
and though, couldn't we
So-
maybe have one category that's, say, Corvettes and Mustangs? Because those are the only 2 cars I see in significant numbers that people, cherry
Well,
out.
you can make it sports cars.
Well, I mean, just, okay, all right.
What was yours?
Then you would
Because
have
you might
another
get-
one
you
would be
might get
Mopar
Camaros.
or muscle cars.
Okay, so you
Isn't
could
that
have,
the same thing?
so Camaros would come, I don't know.
Isn't sports?
Well, then
cars-
maybe-
It's not a thing.
Well, maybe then maybe that can just be one category, Mopar or
Yeah,
muscle cars, which includes
It's a
Corvettes,
sports car.
Mustangs,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
GTOs,
Yeah.
not
And another one will
real-
be convertible.
And the-
Because you want to.
They would all be,
Restaurant lot.
That would all be,
Mod is modified original. You
Oh,
know, big
so
engines,
do-
lowers.
Are we
Then
gonna
you
try to
got
make
the
that decision
antique
before we
cars.
get the
Yeah.
registrations back? Or wait until we get registration back and then make the decision?
That's what Jim was saying.
Yeah, but what we could do though is have a standard of what we think for now, which would be a good thing, so we have a guideline, so that way it's talking points, so when we're
Right.
trying to promote the events, that we,
Good point.
so if we had 4 standard things we've definitely set on, and then if we want to expand upon that,
Other-
we can, but I think what Rick was saying, I think we should probably at least have some standard things in place right now.
So what are the
well, I would say the
standards you
second one would be
recommend?
trucks.
Truck, definitely.
Okay,
Because
so,
and then the third one would be antiques, period.
okay, so we
Antique
have
and
trucks,
convertible, right?
Antique
And
and
Trucks.
convertible, but, yeah.
Trucks.
Trucks.
Trucks, muscle
convertible,
cars,
sports car,
or
and-
Mopar, whatever the appropriate term is for those.
muscle cars, okay.
And then antiques, they can be trucks and cars.
Now,
So you could have
when
within
you say
antique, you
muscle
can
cars,
have.
that's like any sports cars that would,
Yeah.
so we're all on the same page?
And it
Okay.
could be a convertible or not a convertible, because you
Right.
can even get convertibles and antiques.
Yeah, certainly.
So what's the antique, what year is that? Is that a certain, like, is that,
Before World War II.
okay.
20 years or older.
Well, I mean, they're all gonna be antiques.
That's to get antique plates.
So nobody's gonna bring a 2012 Kia.
So I don't know what,
I hope not.
So
No.
you wanna put a date of World War
Marv, what do you
II?
know?
Well, we had already agreed no later than 1980, right? So by definition, they're all antiques.
What do you
Yeah.
consider an
That's
antique
true.
car, or, and you have, what is the category there?
That one is actually a replica.
Okay,
So it was built, hate to say it, 1980.
okay, but for
So,
your
but
knowledge.
the year of the car that they try to reproduce is a 29 Model A, but it's a replica. There's a lot of replica cars. I mean, you
Yeah.
can use that as a category.
Yeah,
We had a couple of people living in the city years ago, they had Excaliburs. What they are is,
yeah, no,
say a Ford Cougar, they used to extend the front end, extend the back, and, you know, fancy fenders on them, so that would be,
Maybe you just say
maybe
antique
just Google
replica.
for a second, just Google what is
oh,
the
I don't have the
description
Wi-Fi
of
on.
a,
I
an
like-
antique? What is the definition of an antique car? They'll probably tell us built before 19.
It's 20 years, isn't it?
That's
Well, that's
to get
just law.
plates.
You
I
could
do
go-
like,
you could
I have to
go-
say, I do like the,
like from
I do like-
1900 to 19, when the Model 8 changed, say 1900
I
to
like Bert's suggestion
1930.
really of the dates. I
And then
think
from
that's the best
30
way
to
do it.
50, you know, and then from 50 to 70, you know, put those three
well, when
years.
How old is your car?
So I have 1990s, 2000s, pre-1968 on here, pre-1979, post-1968. These are some of the categories they had put on here before. I'm not so sure we should be doing brands.
Yeah,
This
we
is
should.
we're our
It's too
first
complicated.
time
That's
out
why
of the
I'm
rodeo
saying
with
cars
this,
and
so.
trucks.
I think
Yeah.
a better definition would be vintage. Because
Okay.
antique is, I mean, we're all antique.
Okay, so we go vintage. So about trucks, muscle cars, vintage.
It's not giving dates, it just shows pictures. It looks like everything's
Okay.
from the 1950s and earlier.
Okay.
I would consider 60s cars vintage too, though.
Yeah, because now we're in the 2000. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's,
yeah.
we're talking
So
60 years.
So
Yeah.
vintage, why don't we say vintage, 1960 and older?
Yeah.
Set up your own.
Or say
category.
vintage 1960, pre-1960.
Okay, in that category? Yeah, because you're in a different category when your car's 70, 80, 90 years old.
Yeah.
There's plenty of cars that are still out there that you could buy for $3,000, like a 72 Buick, you know.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. They're beautiful cars, but they're not expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's all corroded and everything, but they still run. So I have one, that's all I know. Yeah, so we'll say vintage pre-1960.
Okay, so what I have
Yeah,
so far
yeah,
is
trophies.
trucks, muscle cars, vintage pre-1960, and then what do we want to do? Replicas?
Do we say convertible as a separate class or?
Everything's a convertible.
Yeah, I think you
Okay.
could include that in whatever category, like
Okay.
Mopar.
It kind of gives them an
convertible.
edge if you
Yeah.
have two muscle cars, one is a convertible.
Right.
We'll probably win it.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Vintage pre-1960, and then, did you want to include replicas?
I think.
We want to
we
include
not?
our friend here,
Yes,
so
we
let's
do. He's
replicas.
been a big supporter of ours.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, let's do replicas.
Yes.
There's only 3 of them.
Because it would really be cool to see some replicas.
Yeah, it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 5 categories we're
Four.
suggesting.
Sports car,
One,
truck,
two,
vintage,
three, 4, 5. I
replicas.
have 5.
What's the fifth one?
So you have trucks, muscle cars, vintage pre-1960, convertibles, and replicas.
No, we cut out the convertible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just 4. That keeps it simple. That's good enough.
So no antique category anymore.
No, the antique is a vintage.
Okay.
Vintage
If you-
pre-1960
If
stuff.
someone brings a Mustang, whether it's a hard top or a convertible, we'd still be judged on whatever the merit it is.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, you don't see too many convertible Mustangs, at least I've not seen too many.
Mustangs didn't come out until 65, right? So it wouldn't be under vintage.
No,
So
I think it was.
It would only be under
well,
muscle.
the
muscle.
convertible did come out in 65 though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but our vintage is 60 and below.
Right.
So a Mustang holder, a lot of them won't come out. They'll be in the muscle sports car category.
Category, okay.
They won't overlap with vintage.
Okay. All right. So now, did you talk to
Should we do
Councilman
electric
about
cars?
do the?
I did, about the music.
So he'll do the music
He
and the
agreed
sound
to,
system?
yes, he agreed to do that. He's, and then he said only thing he needs is electricity. He needs a tent or covering in case, in case it rains or, you know.
Does anybody have a pop-up tent we can use for the? You have one, don't you?
14 by 14.
It's just so
Just to
Gaddis
cover.
can put his sound system. He's
Yeah,
bringing a
yeah,
sound
yeah, yeah.
system under.
And then a table, and you have tables, right?
Yeah, the
Tables.
tiles. Make sure we have tables.
Let's do a 5th category. I think this will be fun. Golf carts or electric cars. Because Indian Rocks Beach is right. It's a golf cart community. Maybe it'll be something that will encourage in our community.
No, but they're
And
not
you'll get a
allowed
lot-
here.
Hmm?
So doesn't
No, but
isn't that
I
kind of a mixed message right there?
Yeah.
Well,
no,
but they're all.
You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't
we're
have
right next
much
to
like it.
We're right next to Indian Rocks.
Yeah, I would have one
but
too,
They're
if I
gonna cross
could.
like 2 blocks to get to us.
Mm,
Well, they're allowed, they just have to be streets,
They have to have a
street,
lot.
Well, but
License.
most of
Street
the
legal
golf
golf
carts are
carts.
not street.
Is that
yeah.
how you want to classify street legal golf
Certified.
carts?
We don't have to classify it. They know if it's street legal or not.
How are you gonna judge a golf cart though? Think about that, like.
Well,
like
which one
what-
is cool looking? It's-
Well, then they need to decorate them. I mean, like, you could take this whole thing like a boat parade
Some of them
and
look
say
like
you
a
have to
Cadillac,
decorate
some of them
everybody's
are just
car,
golf
but,
carts, some of them are.
yeah.
Or if they're not real, I mean, my neighbor has one that has, I think, 6 seats in it. It's not a golf cart, it's a get back and forth to the beach cart.
Yeah.
But I guess that would fall into that category
Yeah.
or not?
But they're not allowed in Bel Air Beach.
They're not allowed.
It seems kind of unique to
I say
me,
we, I
Rob.
say we stay out of that. Yeah, I don't want to get it in. We
Alright.
have enough
It
controversy. all the
becomes
time.
quite
Yeah.
I do have a suggestion for a car category is a kit car. A lot of people do Cobra kit cars. They build their own car. And what do you think of that? I don't know if there's anyone in the city that is interested in that or has.
And
built
that is
any.
actually one of these
Good idea.
classifications, is a kit car. It actually is.
I think go out with that, and then depending on what you get in, then you can take categories off.
Is it a kit car?
Yeah,
I think
I mean,
it's-
somebody has a Viper
because-
around here,
Yeah.
I've seen, is that a kit car? Not technically.
Like
Like
a
a
Kobe,
dog.
like Cobra kit car. That's
Right.
not like you build it
These
yourself.
three-wheelers that we see,
Yeah.
you know, whatever they're
No.
called.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be.
Dune
we're
buggy,
not-
dune buggy.
Motorcycles. This is a car show.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not going motorcycles. So.
All right, let's move on.
Okay, all right, so, Councilman, he's got the music, he's gonna handle all the music and everything, okay, so Councilman Member Gaddis is gonna do that. I'm going to ask, so we have the antique fire truck coming, so I've already requested that is coming, so we're gonna have the antique fire truck there. Just so there's a little something there in case
Yeah.
some kids should come, okay, but it's also an antique, so it kinda goes in with our theme.
It's also a truck. Put it in.
Huh?
It would fit into trucks too.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Did you say Gaddis is handling the music?
he's handling it all. He got a new sound system, amplifier.
Oh, but
thingy.
not musicians, but
Yeah, just, you just like music. Yeah.
recorded music. Okay.
Yeah, pre-recorded music kind of thing, so they just hook it into his thing and then we can use his sound system for announcements and stuff, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so I think it would be good if we have at least 3 judges. Historically, council member Glenn Gunn has always agreed to do it, and I'm gonna ask him again if everybody's good with that.
Yeah.
And then, somebody said that one of the fire marshals, belongs to a car club. So if he's heavy into it, I wouldn't mind asking him to be one of the judges, because you definitely want somebody who's real
Who's knowledgeable? Is
to be one of the judges.
is Mr. Gunn, is he knowledgeable in cars? Is that his forte? I think.
No, but
I
would
think-
would Fred be willing to do it?
I can ask him.
Okay.
him. But I think they definitely have to have, obviously not biased, so they can't enter anything in. But I think that they should have a knowledge, like
Right.
that gentleman you're talking about.
Right, and the mayor has it, but I don't know that we want,
Mm-hmm.
to have to involve. I don't know, it's up to you all. I'm sure you would probably do it, but,
I think he's got enough on his
I
plate.
think so too.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
Let him come and
he'll
enjoy it and not
definitely
have to
help
be-
hand out the trophies, that's, but, yeah. So, I'm gonna ask him, and if not, I'll reach out to one of the, car presidents of one of these car clubs
Yeah.
and see if I can't get them to be one of our judges. They're usually pretty good about that. So, and then they'll help advertise as well, so.
Lisa did a quick calculation.
A
and-
car, what he was just about spaces.
Yes.
He was just telling me the number of spaces. I just added it up, and that's not including the park. You said has an empty area, which
Yeah.
you know. I said 25 spaces, not including that.
Is that a
What you told me.
reasonable number? Should we have a cutoff number or something like that or not?
Well, let's see. So we have, okay, just because with the tents are how much usually, 10 by 12, so when we did the tents?
10 by 10.
10 by 10. So when we did the setup for the festival, we had 26 spots we used. So do you think that would be reasonable? At least 26
You
or above?
definitely do 26.
Or above?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you know like what a cutoff number would be as far as what you think would be
I
large?
I would like to see us, because that curb is really low, right? To try to get over onto the grass, I want to make sure, some of these
There's-
cars are very low. They sit very low to the ground. So I don't
There's,
want
well,
to,
there's an area where the valley curve is.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
circle is.
The
It's
circle.
not even a curve. It's just kind of a.
okay, so we could bring them in through there, so that would be the entrance point to bring them into that, basically like the field area, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that being said, once we see what kind of cars we have, we'll do like I did with the festival, and we'll say these cars, just to be on the safe side, that are set up a little higher, will probably be staged out in the field area.
Trucks or whatever.
Yeah, probably be a good idea, And so I would say, what, 30? You guys feel comfortable with 30? 31, 32? What do you think? We could fit maybe that many more? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then we're only gonna have, and I don't know if you guys remember do you still have any of these? Okay, so if you look at these, and that still left this gap here, okay? And the park entrance actually doesn't start till down here. So we actually could put like, I'm still waiting to hear back from the ice place, Polar Ice. We could put like the ice place here, okay, blocking the driveway, and then we're utilizing that. It's a van going across. And then that would keep vehicles from coming in and out. We'd have a cutoff point again like we did before. You have to be here by a certain time or, doesn't matter if you paid your registration fee or not, And then, we could put a couple little,
Do you think we're
like
gonna get that
tables
many?
here. Well, we have the wounded warriors that want to set up a table. We have, so these are things that we should do. I was approached at the Big C meeting the other day by emergency management, and they would like to set up a table from Pinellas County. So, and I'm sure you guys are good with that, right? Both of those, correct? And then, I thought if we could sell maybe I don't know, 3 or 4 tables, just 3 or 4. That's it, you know, quite simple ones. And then, you know, our drink kind of vendor, which would have been Polarized, our little ice cream vendor, that's all we need, you know, and see if they have sodas and stuff they sell too as well. If not, I'm gonna go back with Kona Ice again. So, and we know that they worked, we used them for the festival. But these people, I'm always trying to help the you know, the underdog trying to get started, and they just bought out this business. So I saw it in the newspaper, and the company had been around for a long time, but they just bought it out. So I'd like to see about trying to utilize them if we can.
So we're talking about 25 to 32 car spaces and then some vendor spaces?
Right,
How
so
many
vendor
vendor
spaces, there'll
spaces?
only just be tables.
How many are we thinking about? How many do we have room for? after
Well, so
put
we would
30
put
cars?
2, and we could split these up. We could have some of these vendor tables actually up on the lawn as well. They don't necessarily have to be out in that driveway. We could have them just kind of hodgepodge throughout the event, which would be kind of good to mix it up too. So, you know, so that's why I was saying maybe 3 to 4 of people that we sell space to. Then we have the wounded warrior, and we have the emergency management there. And I don't know if you guys want to try to do the sheriff department SWAT vehicle again, that little armored car. They have a couple of them. We would go with the smaller one because of space. Obviously, we could do that. And then you have a cop here. Just something to think about. So, you know, and then emergency management's gonna be here, and that's an EMS guy, so EMT. So,
I think we have one car dealer that lives in Bel Air Beach.
okay,
The one fellow that sells Corvettes
okay.
back as a road.
In Largo?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lives
He's
over
on-
down your way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
And then the other guy that sells them, he doesn't live here, but he's got a shop on Gulf to Bay where they sell plastic cars over there, old ones, and he's got another building,
yeah,
the old way we used to go
yeah,
to eat.
yeah, it's
Okay.
nice, yeah. that
And
is
then you
nice
got
cars.
Bob's Classic, which is right off East Bay.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You know, he's over there, so he may want to stick his nose in.
Yeah, see, and those are people that we would probably look to try to, see if they want to sponsor there. I know this
Well,
guy
yeah, and
just
and
over
Judge.
this Corey's Ohio Auto or whatever across
Yeah,
the bridge. I
Ohio,
was
yeah.
actually gonna go hit him up and see if he wanted to sponsor, because I see a lot of cars, antique cars being worked on there, so he might be interested. And there's that one right on East Bay on the left-hand side, that old gas station kind. He has a collector car and he works on old cars. So I was gonna hit him up and see if he
You got the
wanted to
one,
do a
the one
table.
up in Bel Air, right on the corner of Mellenbacher and,
Okay, so see,
Indian
there's,
Rock.
Across from the
Road.
French restaurant.
right.
yeah, right
Yeah.
across from French.
Okay, so there's 3. So, any 4th? Hit one of these car dealerships like you said. Well, maybe, yeah, hit one of the car dealerships up. So, okay, so, so that's what we're looking at. So I'm gonna plan on 4, let's leave it as 4 to 5. I'm gonna work out the space. You're gonna work out spaces with him.
To-
A layout,
Does each car have both doors open? Is that normal or?
that's the normal.
Okay, I just gotta factor that in.
Yes.
So we'll just have to, it won't be space for space where we actually have. Okay.
Right, right. So 4 to 5 tables plus the 2, I want to say community involvement tables.
And you had said the last time you wanted one food vendor, one dessert vendor. Is that right?
No, we won't need that, we just need a dessert vendor for this,
Okay.
because it's late in the afternoon.
Okay.
But not yet dinner time.
Okay.
So I would think just like an ice cream kind of thing,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you all come up with any other classes though you think of or whatever, you know, make sure we bring it. We're actually gonna have to have a special council meeting, a special committee meeting for this, to work out some more of the details. So if you guys can grab your calendars there.
January's gone, can you believe that?
I know, right?
Know what happened there?
Okay. All right.
What day are we thinking of doing? Have we decided on the date?
Sunday, March 29th, we have. on the
Sunday,
flyer.
March 1?
Well, and that's the other thing I want to talk to everybody about. Is there any way, would you guys be good with doing it the 21st instead of the 29th?
The 21st.
Which is a Saturday?
Of March,
Um,
yes.
oh, it is the 20,
21st of March is a
oh,
Saturday.
no, I'm sorry, the 20.
22nd?
Yeah,
the
the
tw-
22nd.
Sunday the
We promised
22nd?
it would be a Sunday.
Okay. From 4 to 5?
Wasn't it 2:30 to 4:30 or something?
Hold on.
We've
We had
got
it 2 to
two on
5.
here.
2 to 5.
Right, so,
Are you staying in town, Lisa?
So it would be the
Spring break?
22nd
Okay.
instead.
No, we'll be home at the end of that weekend, I think.
2 to 5?
2 to 5 on the
2 to
20th.
5,
Is
yeah.
everybody good with that?
Sunday the 22nd, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I can do that.
Okay. And you'll make sure, Councilmember Gaddis is,
I'll have to tell him.
and I'll tell him at the council meeting as well. I'll
Okay.
say it at the council meeting tonight, but we just make sure we're all on the same page on that, so. I actually have something the day before, and there's always a lot of prep stuff at the last minute, so
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I'd be trying to juggle 2 different things, and that's just asking way too much, so. Okay, so anyhow, so is there anything else we want to talk about with reference to the car show?
How are we gonna get the word out, other than through the gentleman, and he puts it in the paper, and
Okay, so we're
how are we
gonna
gonna
put
get
it
this
on
word out?
next door. Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna make up flyers,
Okay,
and we're gonna distribute flyers. The city manager is going to, him or Kyle will put it out on the city's
yeah,
email.
okay,
And so, you know, I'm gonna reach out to some of the car clubs and let them know, but again, you know,
That's our.
oh, in our flyer though, has to have that, disclose that Bella Beach residents actually get to register first, but Bella Beach residents will need to be registered by such and such date.
yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're gonna have
Yeah.
an earlier registration because we have to allow them first. So,
sure.
you know, this is, so, I know one guy that has 4 collector cars here in Bella Beach alone, and he's, you know, he said he would be interested in you know, participating in a car show, so we definitely, I'll be taking a flyer to his door, and then if we can, whatever street you live on, if you can put flyers on the neighbors' doors, and would be a good thing as well, so, and then, when you're doing that, if somebody comes
Sorry,
through the door,
21st.
if you can
22nd,
encourage them to
Sunday,
get on the
yeah.
city's email list, or take a pad of paper with you and get their email list, and we will get them on the city email list, would be a great thing, because that's what I was doing, and that's how we talk to you and so forth. So we just, the more we get people on the email list, the more they know about our events, so
that's
the word
right.
gets out. Something else I still want to keep in mind and try to continue to work on is when we talked about that banner going across the boulevard here. Now, the wires aren't there, correct? You
The
just have
wires
to-
are there.
Oh, the
Everything's
wires
there.
are there,
Yeah.
Right. The wires are there, the poles are there, so it's just a matter of a banner.
so we just have to get banners, so. Now, any ideas on how we could, if we got one general banner donated, how we could somehow recycle that for
Multi-use it.
multiple events, but yet keep it without ruining it?
Well, this
Because they're
would
not
sound a
cheap to
little
make.
tacky, but you could say Bel Air Beach city event coming, or something like that. Check the website, or
Good idea.
something like that.
Just a
That way-
general term.
Yeah.
You can reuse the banner.
So we could reuse a banner, you know, fun, well, I don't know, something of that nature though.
Right,
Coming soon, don't miss, City of Bel Air Beach. Well, I guess it's fair to say
Check
Parks and
website.
Recs event or city event, check website and paper for latest information, something like that. Then we could use that for anything.
right. I think that would be
And that will
good.
also push into the website.
Right, that's a great idea.
What's going on? Anyone know what's going on? I mean, I think that would be a real good teaser.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
brilliant
Because
idea.
first thing I do is go,
Mhm.
so what the heck's going on?
And the
Right.
website needs to be on the flyer.
Yes, good point.
okay. All right, so if anybody can come up with anybody who, any businesses that they think might be interested in sponsoring that one-time banner for us, you know, we will make sure they get advertisement and things from the city for donating it. So
What about Largo Med? Are they still gonna help
I'm
out?
actually working on Largo Med, and we'll get down to that for the park grant. So
Okay.
when we get down to that, I'll speak.
Do we know
about
any
that.
real estate agents that would do that?
It would have to be a broker opposed to a
Broker?
Yeah, because, you know, they have the bigger income than their agents use generally, but that would have to be a broker, but, yeah, they all like that, right. So if, you know, anybody has any friends that have businesses or anything would be interested in sponsoring that standing banner that we'll be putting out every time, and what we could do is maybe, if the council approves it and the manager approves it, say for instance, the first 5 times we put that banner up, we promise to use their names or you know, in when we thank our sponsors, we automatically include them in that thank you, you know.
Where would
When we
that
thank
go?
them on the website, it goes straight across,
The Causeway?
right across the causeway, right.
Did we ever have one for that, or was that put up and we never?
It was put up years ago, it was beyond 25 years ago. And whether they used it back then or not, I don't know.
Do you know where it is? Does it still exist? Is it still in a closet somewhere?
Well, the banner, oh, that's gone.
Okay, does anyone remember what the dimensions of that are? Boy, that would be, I wouldn't even know how to measure
We
that.
have no record of anything, right, Kyle?
I've got a laser.
Never seen
Nothing.
anything.
Because that's a big banner.
Yeah. It's got holes in it.
Boy, I don't know.
Well, it's not like we'd have to take it down either. It can always, you know, because if we're doing this planning right, we can, we'll always have on the website coming soon, say this event. We might not have a set date, but coming in January, we have this. Coming in March, we have this, you know. And that could be on the city's website coming, you know, watch. And when they go to the website, watch coming soon, you know, such
But I'm
car
thinking a
show.
little more mundane in that, I mean, is this something that, I mean, the cable goes through the top and then it goes back around and comes, I
Okay,
wouldn't know how to tell
so
a banner
it
person.
it almost like,
I mean,
you know how,
wind?
do you know how it feeds through? It has that loop, how it feeds through when you have a tent pole?
Sure.
That material locks
Yeah,
over?
yeah.
Okay, so that basically slides over that cable, okay, on the top and the
Yeah.
bottom, that's how it goes across, and then it's just
So you
mounted.
have to make a new banner.
Secure at the bottom.
No, you just keep the banner, if we're gonna have the standard thing saying, you know, coming sooner events, you know,
Right.
just to direct people to start looking at the website.
Oh, so you wouldn't have, it wouldn't say car show or?
No.
it just say-
Right,
But what's the variable you're changing, coming soon? Oh, you just put up the banner, coming soon, check the website.
right, check
That way
website.
everybody's alerted.
And so you put the banner up.
Right, and then, you know, the city always puts our events on the sign out here as well. They always put our.
Can't read
events.
them, it's too small.
I know,
Yeah,
I know.
I mean, it's,
Yeah,
might as well not have
We
it.
could probably
Right, I agree.
It is
bug
good.
Clearwater or Indian Rocks Beach, and say, hey, we got the poles, if you wanna put a banner up, you know, direction or arrows, you know, split the cost a little bit 3 ways.
What, you mean, and you let them use it for when advertising
Yeah,
their
they can put
events?
their banner up.
That definitely would take account
I don't know how everybody would.
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, because of the traffic.
You can
Where
also
would
get
the-
banners that have removable, sub-banners on them
Okay,
Yeah.
that say things like car show or whatever. And then I would suggest that the sponsor, whoever that is, that be a sub-banner on top of that banner so you can take it off after a certain amount of time.
that might be good, that might be good. Now, do you know where we could get something?
Well, I was gonna suggest Brian Pelfrey, who owns Sankey Realty, but it's gonna say Sankey on it. I don't know if that's what you want.
Well,
Well, you have to
if
use
he's
the-
gonna sponsor that banner, as long as.
But I have
the
no idea on
council's-
cost, so I wouldn't even know what to say to the guy. How much is a banner that big cost?
I don't know.
A lot.
I don't know, and that's something we just have to look at, so, I'm looking for volunteers, for anybody who wants to do the homework on that and come back to us.
Well, we're certainly
if-
not gonna get it done by the car show.
Oh, no, it will not be done by the car show, but this is something we're trying to work on future work as well.
Well, let's just push that
Future
on to
thing.
future
Mm-hmm.
business or something, because we
Okay,
got a lot of
Okay.
things on our schedule.
I was just
Okay.
gonna say, interrupt for 1 second, we could just call like maybe Bel Air, town of Bel Air. They always have banners across their street
Yeah, for the
advertising.
concerts.
Yes, advertising.
Yeah,
We
you're
could
right.
call them and ask them, who can I talk
Who did
to?
it?
Do you have any information?
well, I
That's all.
actually have been working with the parks person from Indian Rock, so I could ask her.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay,
Yeah, they
so
have
I
one
worked
on
on- I
stage.
worked on the boat show some, so.
Yeah, then have that person come look at it and give us a.
But no, they have that concert thing up here now, coming soon concerts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good
Okay.
idea.
All right, so I'll just get with her. I was trying to,
And maybe
actually, I'm
if we-
trying to delegate, I'm learning to try to delegate here. I'm trying to delegate some of this, so, beware. So anything else on the car show?
Is the $25, I know that was discussed at the council.
I
meeting.
think we should go with 20. I think 25 is a little high. I think we'll go with 20. I don't want to go with 15, that's way too low.
Yeah, I thought that
because-
was low last
Because,
time.
because the plate costs us a little bit over 5, and then if you have to change the medallion, depending on which ones, actually on those, we'll all have to change the medallion. So that's $10 each for those, and then whatever else costs we have that we have to factor in. So I don't think 20 is unrealistic.
It's actually kind of low.
I think it's low.
Yeah, I think
For the-
25 is fine.
But the first one, I mean, it's like you want to make sure you have a presence, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you go low and then the next
No.
one is bigger and more, you know what I'm saying?
25 sounds reasonable.
Do we know what other car shows charge?
Well, Largo had one, they charged 15.
Yeah,
15.
the community ones aren't very much.
Yeah, and but Largo had that huge parking lot full too, so, you know,
But there's a
But we're not
lot
gonna-
more people, right?
there's a lot more people,
Yeah.
so.
Well, you know, those people are always looking, they find out, they're always looking to show their cars. I mean, that's their,
Yeah, I mean, they
that's
have
their
$20,000
trigger.
and $30,000 cars, they're not gonna buy anything $25 to get a.
$5
recognition
difference
that the
isn't
car's
Okay,
worth
so
something.
let's move this along. So all in favor of $25, raise your hand. Opposed?
Okay,
So
Okay,
what are you gonna do if you
so
don't get enough people?
$25 is,
It goes.
it goes.
Yeah, and then I think we need a contingency plan. If you don't get enough, then what do? Do you reissue
If you don't get
the
enough, I don't think it's
flyer?
gonna be a price issue, I think it's just.
Oh, I don't either. I'm just saying, just in general, I'm just asking the question.
I don't think the price is going to be the issue if we don't.
No,
get
no, no,
people,
it's
so-
not the price, I'm just asking in
Like
general.
if only 12
Like if
people
only
register,
12
then we don't
people
do that?
register, what are you gonna do? You still gonna have the car show? or
Oh,
you
we're still gonna have a car show.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. No, we actually have, you weren't here. First of all, our events have been self-funded,
Right, no, I knew that, yeah.
okay? And so we still actually have money left over from the fall festival, okay? So we are prepared to dig into it if we have to. We've historically really not had to too much. So, and of course, my goal is never to have to, but you know, that's our contingency. That money is our contingency, so we have that if we have to. But remember, we have these few tables that we'll be renting as well, so that'll help compensate for some of the money, so.
I've been spreading it around at work, and there's people who aren't in Bel Air Beach that are very interested in coming. So
wow,
I'm sure,
good. That's
I'm
good.
sure that
Oh, yeah.
once we've exhausted Bel Air Beach, I'm sure that people will definitely want to enter
613,
and come.
29 bucks.
Oh, that's, yeah,
25 times 30?
huh.
Do we know
Can
what
you
we want to
send that
name
to
the
me?
car show? Do you want to have a
Okay,
name for it?
so let's,
I have a suggestion if you haven't thought of one.
Mhm.
Go.
I thought Cruise in the Beach would be cool.
Yeah, that is.
Cruise in the Beach.
Yeah.
First
Cruise.
annual car show.
I always like including something about the.
Cruise
beach.
at
Oh,
the
yeah, I know
beach.
you do.
Cruise at the beach.
How about
That's right.
cruise at the beach?
Yeah.
Cruise at the beach, because yeah, cruise at the beach.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
I like it.
Good.
or
Okay.
beach cruiser.
I have one more question, June, maybe you guys already talked about this. A lot of the, like if you go to, say, the Bel Air events and stuff, they collect donations like of cans of food and stuff, the people that come. I don't know if you've ever thought about that. It may not be for this car show, but I was just curious.
Well,
They donate it to the food bank over in Indian Rocks.
well, you know, That's something we could consider. Actually, I was talking to somebody today about doing some things, but what I was thinking was, you know, I was thinking maybe we could start trying to get back to some of the people that helped us out. So we have that art gallery that actually came to our car show, to our festival. So we could actually so I think we should probably try, if we're going to do charities, we should vote collectively, come back with a charity we choose, and then vote collectively as to which one we want to sponsor. But again, I can't, the manager has to approve it, the council has to approve it. I can't say, you know, which ones, you know, because if you start picking one and not the other, you could run into a problem. So I think
Sure.
I think it's gonna have to be voted on, and I think the manager always has to approve it.
Yeah.
And then maybe even the city council will have to ask him about that, but.
It's just a good civic message.
Oh, yeah, no, I think we should be starting to do outreach stuff from the city, and I think it's, you know, I just spoke to the city manager about, putting up, they have that display wall that they had at our festival. It's a freestanding wall promoting, the children, that are stuck in the system, foster care system. But it is a state-run program, but they're also a nonprofit too. So they're gonna bring it up and put it up here at City Hall and start displaying what it is. It's just a wall of pictures of kids that are stuck in the system or looking for other homes. So there's different charities out there, and I think if everybody wants to, we can always, and here's the other thing too, if anybody feels strongly about it, we could also do a rotating thing. So each event, we actually, you know, this is our charity for that event. So that might be something else to think about as well. And I did do the food thing with the firemen. We did a fundraiser thing for the food bank in Indian Rocks. I did fun just recently. So, all right. So, and then at Christmas time, we could even, when it gets closer to Christmas time, we could do a toy drive, maybe, or something, or
Toys for
even a
Tots.
food drive even then, because, you know, but the summer months, here's something to think about. If you're going to do food drives, believe it or not, the food pantries really struggle in the summer.
Yeah, they do, because
They really struggle in the summer. So if we're going to do something closer to the summer, that would probably be a really good time if you're thinking about food bank, is to do it in the summer, because I've done a lot of charitable stuff with that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind if we're going to do a rotating one.
Do you want to give me the name of that person to call for the banners, the one less thing you have to do?
That would be great. Her name is, she's with the City of Indian Rocks,
Okay.
and her name is Lauren. Sorry, I believe it's in these notes. She's their event person with the City of Indian Rocks. I'll get you her. Oh, here, let's see. Lauren, her number is 727, this is the city number, 595-6889. Her name is Lauren.
And I'm happy to call Rick, the owner of Sankey Realty, to see if they'll sponsor it
Oh, okay, great.
after you find it. But I gotta have something to tell him, because he'll just go, well, gee,
no,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, you definitely want to have, yeah,
So I'll see if I can get her to come out and, or tell us who they use, and then
right.
get them and have them come out and give us an estimate, because we have
Right.
no earthly idea what we're talking about. There'd be a lot of money,
Right.
that I know.
Would be, but it, like you said, it would be
Would be
great if we had
really
that
helpful.
standard thing, and then you just put
It would
that
be
over
awesome.
it, take it down, put it
Yep.
over it, and take it down. You know, the event would have to be,
God, that would be
say,
so great.
closer to the one end or the other, whatever goes on, we'd have to work that out, so that way, you know, we're not, staying out in the middle of the highway trying to put
That
stuff.
way
Right.
we know 100% that everybody that lives here knows about it.
Right,
I mean, they can't miss it.
yeah,
Right.
there's no complaints.
Council meeting tonight.
Right.
Right across,
Yep. Oh, yeah, right.
That's what you want, right, Lauren?
Yeah, but the city could use it for their stuff too as well, so, you know, because it will be city property once it's
Okay.
done. Okay,
You don't have
so,
her last name, just
Right.
Lauren.
okay, so Cruise at the Beach is the name,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay, and so we have it on the 23rd March 23rd from 2 to 5.
I think it's the 22nd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
22nd.
it?
Sunday,
Hold on,
that's
I
a
gotta pull it up.
Sunday.
Hold on 1
22nd,
second.
yeah. March 22nd. Sunday, March 22nd.
Okay, sorry. Yep, you're right. Okay. Okay, all right, and so let's move on to the next order of business. Okay, so the next thing is, when we talk about the flyer for the car show, I had it on here, but we can't do a consideration because after further review, there's too much. So what I can do is I can create a generic one. And when I create the generic one, I can have Patty send it to you all and then maybe get some input by email. But please, make sure you respond back. So let's do it that. I'll just create a general one, and then as we start getting people signing up, that will change. That flyer will change as far as classes go. So let's talk about the park grant. So let's move on to the next one. Bayside Park. I'm actually doing a speech tonight to the city council in reference to the thing. There's been a lot of rumbling that they might not be, I want to say, co-sponsoring, basically, giving their matching money. This had been approved by the council to put out for it, for us to get it. We were awarded the $200,000 and matching money. Kyle worked very hard on it. The city manager worked very hard on it. And we actually got second in the state. Second in the state. I'm going to take a big issue. My standing on this is going to be that, you know what? This would be a blemish on this city, basically, if we don't take this grant. They worked so hard to get it. Okay, we've actually made the headlines because we got second in the state for this grant. And if we try to go for additional grants in the future, from no matter what it is within the city, this is going to be a bad mark against us. And that is actually the stand I'm going to take tonight when I speak to them. So,
What's the objection? I'm sorry.
some of them are saying, go ahead. There you go.
Well, I heard that flooding, all the flooding stuff, and those people
Yeah,
saying,
but
we
the
need to
thing
pay
of
for
it is-
9th Street before we
My-
make the park better.
I understand that, but see, here's the problem. For so many years, they deferred all the repairs within this city. They didn't take. They kept basically banking the money. They say we need X number of dollars for all these projects, and they were banking the money and they didn't do the projects. Okay, so the last council's the one that approved this grant. Okay, and the last park board, other than George, approved this grant. Okay,
200,000?
yeah,
We'd have to cough up and then the government.
right. It's a matching grant. Okay, it's a
And it
matching
can be,
grant.
doesn't have to be, if you did 50,000, they'd match 50.
Right, right.
Up to.
So,
Right.
yeah, so it's up to, so we don't have to
Right.
cough up the 200.
Right, but it's gonna be, so last year, okay, they were hurting for money. They kept saying they were hurting for money. Now, mind you, we have $5 million in the bank we haven't touched just for improvements in the city, okay? So I have a real problem because they haven't touched that money, but yet we have street flooding. I'm sorry. Some of the check valves only, were $35,000, I think? And again, this is nothing against anybody else. This is my job to defend this grant and defend the park, so.
Well, the thing is, they shouldn't have
But
told Lynn to go ahead
$35,000
with it.
times whatever, if you divide it into 5 million, I mean, we could fix a lot of flooding that's going on, okay? So we should have fixed a lot of flooding that's going on, okay? And quite frankly, the repairs that were not done have cost the city money. And putting off these repairs is actually, because of inflation, has raised the cost of doing said repairs. So the inflation cost and not doing the repairs has actually cost us more money than we've earned in interest from that money.
So it's going to
So
scare the
that is
council.
going to be my standing point on this. The other thing too is that we, as a park board, are gonna, and I hope you guys are okay with this, are gonna take the stand that we are willing to do our share. We're going to try to do a fundraising campaign to help with that matching grant, to match that money,
That's a good idea.
okay?
We've got how much aside from the last event? About 1,000?
We have about $1,700, but I'm talking about reaching out to private businesses.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So this is Largo Medical Center has said that they would be interested in hopping on board with this. I don't know how much and how in-depth they are willing to, but it sounded they were pretty interesting. Here's the thing, in that diagram for the park is exercise equipment, outdoor exercise equipment. A medical center would
Right.
love to hop
Right,
on
they
board
would,
for
yeah.
something like that. Okay, they're promoting healthy living, say. So you see what I'm saying? So if we tie into whatever interest business or interest group that would like these kinds of things and jump on board for that, would help promote their business as well. We would give them a plaque, we would give them, like a little concrete thing with a plaque.
Well, right next
We're
to
gonna
the
have a
equipment,
ribbon
too.
cutting ceremony, and
Sell
have them
bricks.
here, we'll advertise
Disney
them on the
World.
website, we'll advertise them in our emails, we'll advertise them, we'll just keep thanking them. Okay, so they'll get business.
It's like Largo Medical helps the residents of Bel Air Beach.
Oh, yeah, and they'll
Yeah,
make the
health.
headlines.
Or Largo Medical Health Center or something.
Right, right, right.
I wonder how much
Maybe
authority
we could
they-
just knock that out, just to, so that the council doesn't get scared, 200, maybe 100 grand. The fishing pier is probably.
Okay, so here's the
probably
problem with the
that.
grant, you can't, that was part of the grant.
Oh.
So there's only a couple, you might be able to knock over maybe a point or two of something on there.
Yeah, 'cause
But after meeting with the city manager,
Obviously.
that's just not gonna happen.
That's how you're able to check.
that's what
that.
earns the points to
Yeah.
rank you.
So it's just a matter of getting bids to lower the cost.
Right,
One person might do the pier
right.
for
And
70. another
here's
for
the other thing
40,000.
too, if we all reach out and continue to do this campaign, we might have businesses within our city
Yeah,
that this is their specialties. They might do this, okay, and throw it in. So we might not even, or again, they will, I know, like say for instance, I know of a uniform person that owns a uniform company in this city. But if we, I don't know a lot of businesses. I know a lot of real estates. I know one that's a big builder. So if we could get these kinds of businesses, our residents, to jump on board, or even private individuals. I've already had one individual said, you know what, if I got my name on a little plate, I would buy a bench. I would buy a bench.
people do it for churches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would buy a bench, so.
Really, bricks
so-
at Disney World, that's how,
Yeah,
Disney
yeah.
World, they didn't need
Yeah.
the money, they just
Yeah.
want,
You
people
know,
wanted
in
their name.
hospitals, they have
Yeah.
names in
The
hospitals.
schools too, a lot of
Yeah,
the schools.
too, yeah.
Right, right, exactly. So that's the kinds
All
of
the
things
parks
we want to
do,
think
yeah.
about if we're
They have
doing
plaques somewhere.
this kind of a fundraising campaign. So is this?
Benches are a good
Well, we
idea,
already
especially
have-
the age group that
Well,
lives
and
around
the
here.
other thing, picnic tables too, because
Yeah.
we actually have some picnic tables that could use
That's good.
replacing, so,
Well, we already have at least two fishing pier parks with residents who have donated it, with their name on a stone, right? So there's probably people out there who want a little rock with their plate on it, like
Right.
we did with our two.
Right.
What about that health store on US 19, that sports store, Jackson's?
Bill Jackson's.
Bill Jackson's, yeah. They might want to promote fish and pier or bass, something.
Okay.
I think your ideas go.
well, now, so
So are
I
you saying-
spoke to the city manager about this and creating a letter like we did before. Okay, I would work with him and we'd create a letter, and then of course the city attorney will look at it, make sure we get his blessing
Yeah.
and the council's blessing, and we send it out to the residents, or that's a letter you could take to try to get donations. But we'd have to basically stick right to that letter. No more promises other than what's on that letter. Okay, I mean,
Yeah.
But once we create it, then we'd have something to promote with. So, and that's how. So Bill Jackson would be a great one. I'm going to write that one down. But so is everybody okay with what I've said so far tonight?
What
In
you
my
said, Bill, you
presentation?
said something, are you saying it's not, are you saying that it is an all or nothing?
It's pretty much all
Pretty
our.
much.
That's not what I understood the council was saying that night when it was addressed.
Well, but it has to do with the points you get for
Right.
your grant proposal. And
Right.
if you
Right.
knock one of these things off, you lose points and you could lose the whole thing.
Right,
Yeah.
right, I remember that conversation.
And that's
So
exactly
we got
what the city
points 'cause
manager had
either
just
we
said
wanted-
to me,
either we
so,
wanted-
like I said, I had a meeting with them.
Okay.
So
That's why we finished number
but
2.
remember, that's broken
Yeah,
up,
right.
though. You don't,
Yeah.
so we have to put out, what was $67,000 a year we have to put aside for that? Is that how much it was?
Or
The park grant, the matching money?
it depends how many, if it's over 3 years.
Yeah,
Is
so
that how
we
it
can,
every
so it's just something we have to secure over a 3-year period,
Yeah.
you know, is what we did, but we've already guaranteed, the city's already guaranteed that money. But we actually, in order to, you know, continue to try to keep
Right.
the council on board with us on doing this, I think we need to continue, this has to be an ongoing fundraising thing on our end too, trying to do it.
That'd be a good goal
But
for us,
here's
so
the thing I want to point out, last year, and this will be my point as well I'm presenting to the council tonight, is the fact that there was money already budgeted last year and put aside for this, okay? And they took it out and said we didn't have money, that the city didn't have money. But at the end of the year, the city had $307,000 left over. And they took away our grant, part of our grant money that was put aside last year, okay? So I do have a problem with that, and again, that's one of the points I will be bringing out tonight, and I want to make sure that you all are aware of that, so we're all on the same page, okay?
That sounds like a very noble cause,
I think so, I think so too, and you know,
You all
and I
work
know that they
smart.
try to make this a lot about just the children, I mean, and they're gonna try, some of the audience might say, well, you know, we don't have that many kids. We are up to about 223 children in the city now, okay? But actually, if you look at what is being done, majority of it is for our 50 or older residents.
Pickleball speaks
If
money
you
now.
if you look at the grant, what we're receiving and what is being done, it's actually for a different age group, so that they can't try to push out at all, okay? This is total.
Grandparents watching their grandchildren at the park.
Yeah,
Have you guys done a survey, June, of the
Yeah, it was
the
just-
city to ask them what they would do with that money in improvements in the park? I mean, I'm just curious to try to get the momentum behind you.
well, the momentum was behind us, that's why the council
Right.
approved it last year.
But like, was
But-
there a survey, like, did you go, I don't know, I live on 6th Street, like,
We did a
We
survey.
did.
yeah,
did
and
survey.
so was there input, like, what do you
Yeah.
want to spend the money on kind of stuff?
Well, there's only certain things you can, in a
Use it
grant, when a
for?
grant comes forward, Lynn picked on this one because he knew what we could put out here. So you can't
Got
just
it.
get everything, you can alter it.
Sure.
Kyle, you could be clear on this than me probably, because you worked with Lynn on it.
Right. It's kind of like a select handful of things that you
That you
can
can
go
do.
score points.
Got it.
That makes sense, and then we did a survey as part of the grant to ask people, you know, what they preferred of one of the
I
other.
mean,
It was
Lynn and Kyle put things in there they knew the grant would be, we could have a possibility of getting it, such as the restrooms, the waterfront dock,
Yeah,
and the pavilion out here, you know, we needed to do that for years, but you have to put these other things in with it. You can't just remove them, because then
kids.
You lose
you
points.
might as well just get the money back at that rate. It's the way it works, so. If it's a matching grant of 200 and it's over a 3, you could probably stretch it to 4 years. So that's 50,000 a year you'd have to find, and that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
And that's why the council kind of, oh boy, you know, that's,
Yeah.
Can we?
But, you know, we
can-
can also, when we have our events, we can have, you know, how the firemen have a booth out there, we can have a
Yeah.
bucket out there, you know, to raise money as well for this, you know. We can also, when we do our events, we can actually vote as a group to transfer some of our funds that we raise from our events too over into that grant as well. So that's something to think about too, you know, out of our event money over to it. So, you know,
we're actually, this whole deal with the parks is for the future. This is not gonna happen overnight. It's for the next generation down the road. You know, like Lisa's kids are getting bigger, they'll use it, somebody else moves in the neighborhood. It's a benefit for the whole
Yeah.
city and for the neighborhoods. You know, what do you look for when you come to a city? And that's another case, you know, you look at parks, you look at walking areas, going to the beach or walking along this area. I mean, you hadn't been able to walk along this waterfront out here for years until Lynn and Kyle took care of a lot of the issues. It just had been neglected. We've got beautiful walking paths on the north side up to 18th Street and all the way from the park here all the way to Indian Rocks Beach. They were let go. Nobody wanted to put the money out there. So, we don't need them, leave them. Well, you got a wonderful asset. You might as well try to keep it up. It may cost a couple of tax dollars, but the benefits in the long run to the future is just makes sense. It's a
And-
win-win-win.
Yeah, and so some of the key talking points I'll have in my speech tonight is basically like when Kyle and I were out there setting up for the trunk or treat, there was somebody had pulled in, 2 people had pulled in, and I asked them if they were are they here to participate in the trunk or treat? And the realtor, it was a realtor, he got out and he said, no, she's looking to buy a house. He says, the lady, points to her, she's looking to buy a house here. And he said she wanted to see the parks. So, you know, we have a strategic plan, okay? The vice mayor came in and taught us about the strategic plan. Okay, and we want to be a premier city, then we have to protect our city. We have to beautify our city. We have to continue to keep it up in order to be that premier city. And every time we continue to be a premier city, just think about it, it raises all our tax values of our homes. And when we raise our tax values, it also raises the tax dollars that this city gets, okay? So you know, we keep that in mind. So when you're always talking about budget cuts and not having any money, if our home values are raised, okay, there goes more revenue, you know, into the system for the city. So anyhow, those are my key talking points. And
Kind of,
if you can stay around for the council meeting, please do. And I'm going to continue, and I've already bought a backer board, and I have an easel. I'm going to ask for permission. I'm going to make a graft of our goal, and we're just going to mark it as it goes up. And I'm going to put it behind the desk where people come to the counter, they'll see it. If I can have it out here, somebody can swipe it. But right where people can see it, and then during council meetings or any other meetings, we bring it in and we just put it on display out there in the hall, and we keep marking it as, you know, we raise some more funds. So I think
So this is-
people like visuals.
This is,
Visuals
yeah.
are good, so.
So this whole thing has already been approved by the council, so there
uh,
really shouldn't be any.
The grant has been approved, right, but a
Right.
fundraising campaign is not, which I'm going to approach them
Okay.
with tonight.
Okay.
So, but I have, just so you know,
Because I have some reservations
lobbied,
with it,
I
but,
have lobbied all of them but one
yeah,
individually
right.
and in reference to trying to give us some chance to raise some of the funds here.
How many
Don't
events
you-
can we sponsor a year, you think, about 4, you know, to raise money? We did, in September, we did the Fall Festival, and in November, we did the trunk or
Trunk or
treat.
treat, right.
And then the car show in the
December,
spring,
we did
maybe a 5K in the
Christmas.
summer or something. So maybe 4 events, and each event would raise maybe $2,000,
Maybe, yeah.
yeah. So we could raise $8,000, potentially 8, 10 grand.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, out of the 67,000, that's a nice,
Yeah,
you know,
Portion.
promotion
Yeah.
portion.
Right, and just remember, and here's the other thing, you know, when we talk about, there's stuff that we have not maintained, that we're responsible for continuing to maintain, that we already own, okay? So that tennis court out there,
Yeah.
some bricks, we have to maintain it, we have to fix
It
it.
looks like it's in pretty good shape.
Well, the fencing is gonna need replaced, I inspected that with the council member,
It's
but,
starting to crack.
but,
yeah.
but, you know, so these are things, so these are in the cost, right, of getting,
They're in
so.
the capital
Yeah.
So
improvement
we're
plan,
gonna
too. They're all laid out.
actually have to lay out these dollars anyhow.
Right.
See, we're already gonna have to lay out those dollars because these are things that we already own that are
Right.
existing that we have to put
Yeah.
repairs
Yeah.
in to, so we have to put money into, so So, you know, those are some of the other things we need to look at. So actually that $200,000 really isn't 200,000 we're actually laying out, because part of that we were gonna have to put out anyhow to basically, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's true. There's some elements of that,
right, correct.
Well, it sounds like it's well worth it, and it sounds like something that we can achieve both from
Right.
our own effort, through private citizens donating to get their name up, and through private businesses.
Yeah.
To get their name up. I think it's a realistic goal.
And we had spoke about, you know, we could start like the bocce, you know, neighbors could maybe get together and have like, once a week they do like bocce tournaments and shuffleboard, we talked about shuffleboard.
I looked at the basketball court, it'd be very easy to paint the
It would,
shuffleboard
yeah.
thing right on the back of the
Yeah.
court.
Yeah.
So the shuffleboard could be used for shuffleboard or basketball. I had actually already spoke to,
Is there
You could have a
pickleball out
plaque
there?
donated
Is there a
by,
pickleball? It's not paid
you know,
for that.
yeah.
That's really interesting.
If we continue to have these various events, maybe we should have some place built into the event that here's a place where you can make donations for future upgrades to this park. And people can sign and say, I'll commit to $5 or $10 or whatever they want to commit to.
right, right. Now,
Or
that's the
something
other
like
thing
that.
too, though, when we talk about plaques, you would have to donate a certain amount of money in order to get your name on a plaque. You come up and donate $1, I'm not putting your name on a plaque. So-
No.
No,
So
they
we
wouldn't
would have
expect
to-
it.
Yeah,
It
we'd
would
have
be-
to, we'd have to.
But if
create-
they're
It would
using
be
the
like
park
the-
and they're happy
the
with the park and they
festival,
want
like
to see
gold
upgrades.
sponsor, platinum spot, that sort of
Right,
thing.
Yeah.
right,
$5
that kind of a
to future,
classification,
you
correct.
know,
I'll pick a lot.
changes to the park.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay,
There we
so,
go.
let's
Just set
keep
up
moving
like that.
forward. Okay, so,
What's that?
People can.
the event calendar, so everybody, by the way, the council meeting, we can walk into it late because we're not until down the road a little bit, so we're good. I can go into it late, I've already planned on that. I saw the agenda, so. So I worked on a boat parade, okay? The guys like their car shows and like their boat parades. I hear you, I'm doing it. Okay, so I spoke to Lauren with the city of Indian Rock. She's very good, by the way. She's actually giving my contact information to they actually have a boat captain. He's a legal boat captain who knows their waters very well, and he always leads it,
Uh-huh.
okay? So I asked her if we do not schedule on the same date as her, would she lend him to us if he was willing to do it? And she said, absolutely. So if he knows Indian Rocks, he knows Beller Beach, okay?
Okay.
So that will be my question.
Yeah.
So she's given him my contact information. I'm just waiting for him to reach out to me on that. But if not, we actually have a fishing captain in this city, okay? Ruger. He lives on 9th.
Luger.
Luger, I'm sorry, Luger. He lives on 9th. I bet you he would be interested in doing it. Okay, so, you know, he would just be somebody leading the way, and then
Yeah.
we would need key people like we did at the with our other events, key people within the city to be like periodically throughout the thing, and that's how we would schedule it. Like, you know, you might take up the rear, you might take the middle.
Right.
You know, just, you know, that way we know it's covered. So I am working on it, and she said it was good that I started now because it does take several months to put it together. So I am working on it, and if you could talk to your husband about it, if
Yes.
he would be willing to help us on that.
The boat parade, absolutely.
On the boat parade, that would be great, and then you guys, of course, on board because you have boats, right? Okay, so I'm expecting you to help take the
Yeah.
helm with this stuff.
Absolutely.
So what months are we looking at?
So it would be,
December.
December would be doing it. Theirs is on the, I think she said the
Yeah,
16th.
sounds about right.
Theirs is on the 16th, and she said the only reason we can't, she said you close down the thing 1 week before, so anybody the entries would be done a week before. And she said they all meet at 6 o'clock, they start at 7, and it goes 2 to 2.5 hours. The city manager was not willing to team up with us, and the reason he's not willing to team up with us and do one together, I did ask, was because Indian Rocks does it with, not Indian Rocks, Rainington Shores does it with like Rainington, she said, and it's like 4.5 hours, and they got a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
She said their city manager said 2.5 hours is good, and that's
Yeah.
how long theirs
Yeah,
last.
it's too long.
And it would be too long. Although, Clearwater doesn't seem to have a huge one. So I
Who?
could check on,
Well, the
I could reach
island,
out to them.
yeah, but the thing about Indian Rocks is they go up and down,
Yeah,
and so you don't have that
All the
here.
Right.
canals.
So
We do
I was
have
gonna
it.
say.
No, we do,
No,
we
we
do,
do.
we do.
A little bit, but not
No,
like
a lot.
Indian
No,
Rocks.
not like
does.
Indian Rocks,
No,
no.
not like Indian
Right.
Rocks. But what about Sand Key? They don't have
Yeah, that
one.
might be nice. I was just
Sand Key,
thinking
yeah,
Sand
that-
Key.
yeah.
Right,
There's,
well, and Clearwater Beach has one. That island estates out there.
Yeah, that's
they-
their
Yeah,
stuff.
their yacht club there.
That's
Yeah.
pretty big.
Right beyond the bridge.
Oh,
there,
yeah,
yacht
I
club.
haven't been to it in
And
years,
those
my
boats.
kids are grown,
Yeah,
so
and it's so related to the yacht club that, it's.
forget it, okay.
But Sand Key, there's a lot of boats in Sand Key.
Okay.
I wonder if that would be,
Including in our marina in
Yeah.
Bella Beach.
There's that
All
big
those-
neighborhood
The
there in
Sand
Sand
Key
Key.
doesn't have their own yacht
No,
club though,
right.
right? No, they all belong to
They keep
it.
their boats in,
in.
moorings.
Yeah, or in their own place, like Dan's Island has their own.
yeah,
Yeah,
But there's a lot of boats over there.
yeah,
Right.
that's true. Yeah,
Okay.
right there in, San Key Estates Drive. the moorings
Yes.
so,
there.
so what I'm thinking at this point, because I kind of want to know how many residents really want to jump on board with this before I reach out too much to outlining communities, okay?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna ask that the city manager kind of send it out in his next email and have them respond back to my
That's a
city
good idea.
email, so we kind of know what we're looking at
So we do have
before I
local
venture out
ones.
too much,
Mhm.
okay? Because, we don't want it, especially with it being our first one. We don't wanna get supersonic and not be able to have a handle on it.
Right.
And this is, I've been to many of them, but it is, as far as being out, I've viewed them by boat.
Yeah.
Because I owned a boat for several years, but I never participated in one. So I want to make sure that,
We have a lot of boat owners in Bel Air Beach.
We do have a lot.
Enough
We
to
do
just
have a
keep it
lot.
within ours.
and I wouldn't have a problem with going down there and putting a flyer, if we, just an
mean,
interest
just
flyer
on- just
down
on my
down at
side.
the marina.
Yeah,
And just, at each one of their spots and see if we can't get some interest
I mean,
out
just
of
on
it.
my street, the 22nd Street facing the bridge, there's a dozen boats right there.
Same
Yeah.
thing in Donato, like is
Yeah,
probably
we
yeah,
have
a couple
plenty.
dozen.
And again, this
It's
is where,
about 2 dozen.
if
We don't
anybody
have a lot.
doesn't mind
Yeah.
walking
2
around with
dozen,
some
2 dozen,
flyers
we got
and
that,
just a general information flyer you'd hand out and get them, responding back. Believe it or not, our email list really is horrible for the city. It really is. That's why we need to expand it, okay? We need to start getting more of the community involved and getting on board with emails. It's getting better, isn't it, Kyle?
How many boats would you like to see in the boat
We
bridge?
gotta make sure we got all the
What do you think
residents.
is,
I
is
don't,
2 dozen, 3 dozen sound good?
I was thinking about 50 boats.
Depends on what your map's
Yeah.
gonna be, where you're gonna
Well,
go.
you're gonna go through all the fingers, you want all the waterside people to see.
Right,
So through all the fingers.
Mhm.
And I think that 2 hours would take it, I think
yeah.
even just 2 dozen would be enough. I mean,
And it
see
can't be-
24 boats go by, it's fun.
it can't be on the same night you said as Indian Rocks, which
Well,
is what,
this
the
is on a
16th?
Wednesday.
Oh, it's on a Wednesday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
December
Oh, it
16th
is?
is Wednesday.
Yeah.
You get out on a weekend, it's more fun.
Yeah.
Right,
But
Right.
they have an Indian Rocks, boat club that's big.
yeah.
And they have a huge party before it and,
Right.
but you could have something down at the marina. Like a barbecue or something like that before
Yeah,
that.
we could host it afterwards there, yeah. Additional parking at Morgan. We probably could tape off Morgan or even just use the side streets, but again, we gotta always try to have somebody,
Yeah.
So, real quick though, we did decide we're gonna do here for sure with the park, right? For the car show, right?
Yes,
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
just double verifying that. Let me,
yep,
okay.
And parking in the front.
Okay, well, only because I have to try to arrange to have somebody to maybe help with a little bit of the parking. This is not gonna be that big of an event, but
right.
I'd like to at least have a couple volunteers to help with the parking. I have to have a plan in place, so. All right, so that's where we're going with the parade, okay? So we're working on it. Any ideas you come up with, please bring them forward. Anything, okay, so we're talking about other events within the city, so I'm waiting to hear back what you all have come up with.
I'd like to see a 5K.
Okay.
I think, because the purpose of all these events is also to bring all the neighbors together.
Right,
I'd like to see us all jog together and, you know, with the kids, a 1 mile run and the rest of it's 5K and through the neighborhood streets.
Yeah.
That's gonna take some logistics too, because you have to have the cones and
Policemen.
control traffic.
Yeah.
And, you know, it actually has to be permitted. So, but, I mean, that after we do this, I can throw out this list, okay?
Yeah.
And then, I will make sure the city manager gets it, and then he can give me his feedback on the do's and don'ts of what we can and can't do. Okay, but the 5K would be good, and you know, Jody Shirley gets in them all the time, so she probably would have some connections.
Well, my wife, Tracy, organized a 5K run for her church in
Oh, okay.
2015.
Mhm.
Okay.
At Fort DeSoto. It was very successful. She raised over $5,000.
Oh, good.
Oh.
That was in remembrance of the Armenian genocide, 1915, 2015, 100-year anniversary.
Okay.
So she did the T-shirts, the whole,
Yeah.
you know, just from start to finish, she did the whole thing. So-
Right.
So she's, you know,
Oh,
that's something she could put together.
yeah, so she
Yeah.
would be interested in that? Let
And
me
I talked to
know.
her about it earlier. She said, yeah, she'd love to.
Oh, okay,
do that.
okay, so then I will be reaching out to her about that, if you all are interested in
And
that.
I already have one sponsor because I said, you know, full, because it just came from Krabby Bills and we talked about it.
Oh,
I said,
okay.
just let me know what you want to see.
What month are you thinking about? What month would be? a good
You know,
time?
nobody wants to run in the summer. It's too
That's what I
hot.
was
So
thinking.
It'd have to be spring or autumn
April
So-
or winter. So
April or May.
You know-
May would be the latest
Yeah.
for this season, and then starting in November or October, right? So just avoid June, July, and August, and September.
So,
Anytime but June, July,
But
August. and
any,
September.
like,
Are you thinking about running for
April,
like
May
a,
would be good.
like for a cause, like
beginning of May?
or to earn money for the
Well,
town?
Well, the
we have
main
a lot
cause
of
is to
stuff
raise money
in the
for the
fall.
city, but
okay.
maybe
So
for
I
charity
like
too,
the
if that's gonna
idea
be
of
an
the
ongoing
Sunday
thing.
events, the more
Yeah.
Sunday events, I think would
Yeah.
be good, because that actually is a calm, come together, community kind of an event kind of thing. So what about May 3rd? I'm looking at it for now. This
That'd
is
be
a
great.
tentative date,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, that's a
Is
good
that
idea.
a tentative
It
date?
is, Lisa was saying, what about a cause other than for our own city? It would be one of the charities. I know that Tracy did an event at our home of my parents' 66th anniversary, and she raised a lot of money for one of these orphanages. She knows all about it,
Right.
and that's a charity that she likes. So, you know, charities like that, like you said, the orphanage and
For the foster kids,
Foster
we
care,
put the
that
board
kind
up
of
for.
thing. Because when you attach a charity to it, people want to run that, you know, whether it's for breast cancer or something, they want to do that to help that cause, so
Yeah.
it'll help our cause, it'll help their
Right,
cause, so
right.
we do want to do it for charity. That would be
Yeah.
great.
Well, and you know, when we talk about the charities too, the sheriff department does a shoe drive at Christmas
Okay.
time for their youth range.
And don't they do a coat drive too?
I don't
Somebody
know,
does
I
a
know they
coat
do
drive,
the
maybe that's the
shoes.
police. Yeah,
Could
maybe
be.
that, yeah.
I knew, but they do a shoe drive for the kids.
That's
so
good.
That's something to think about. So I have it down for a tentative date of the 3rd, okay?
And we're in there, yeah.
Okay,
And it would be through the streets of
Yeah.
Bel Air Beach.
Yeah,
right.
maybe part of Gulf Boulevard, maybe part.
Yeah, you know, I
Someplace you
think
have to
that
come
what
up.
would be good would be
We'd have to,
start it at wherever the longest drive would be,
right,
and then, or,
work your way to the marina and back.
yeah, maybe to the marina and back a couple
Why not
times.
start it in the park?
Or you could do it on the beach. It's a hard run on the beach.
No, I think it's more fun within the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's in the
To see the
neighborhood.
neighborhood streets and your neighbors cheering you on, sitting on their lawn chairs. You know, because people are gonna pass out also
Yeah.
water,
True.
Kool-Aid, maybe even have a rock band, I know a couple of.
Well, we
rock
would have the
bands.
music here afterwards, back
Okay,
here,
yeah.
So why not have it start here and
Yeah.
end here?
in here.
Sure.
So that way,
Yeah.
everybody's there.
It's a
they-
fun place to
Right.
coalesce and then
Right,
take
right.
off and
Yeah.
have the party
Yeah.
afterwards. And maybe we could get a beer company to, you know, because I run Clearwater races and at the end, you've got free beer, donate from the beer.
Right, but the
companies.
one in Clearwater has a 501c.
As a what?
501c3, we do not have a
Oh.
501c3.
Bel
We
Air
are back to
does.
the same situation I
Okay.
ran into,
Okay.
okay, with the other, so if, you know, if you find anybody who's willing to do the startup cost for 501c3, I'd be happy to talk to them about it and actually could help that make that happen, so, keep that in mind.
So you need a lawyer for that?
well, again, I could make that happen, but what I need is the capital. I need the money.
How
outlay for
much
that.
does it cost?
I
Just
think
go
it's gonna be
online.
about $300 or $400 probably to get it initiated, get it started, probably. Because you have a corporation fee you have to file, okay?
I'll
And then
donate
you-
that. I'll commit to that.
We need-
It's only
don't we need to get that
$300-$400. I mean,
approved
if that's
by
all
the-
that's blocking us from.
Right,
doing that,
so we would
That's a couple
actually.
nights out to dinner.
Okay, so we would actually, I would have to get that on the agenda,
Okay.
a separate, and we could vote on that. And if
Alright.
if you're interested, is that this board's interest in that?
Couldn't the city attorney help that too?
Oh,
We
then
have to
we're
pay
using
him,
city
though.
funds for a nonprofit, you can't do that.
Oh, I didn't mean that, I just meant like the information and stuff like that.
Oh, well,
He's
I have
gonna
attorney
decide.
I've
Information.
ran several 501c3, so,
Yeah.
So you
so
know
I
what you're
actually
doing.
have hands on some of that stuff, let's
Okay.
put it that way, and then
Alright.
I get free legal advice from the mayor's under attorney.
Good.
Free legal advice.
So is that just a
Well, plus
license
my
to
friend
have
of mine
like
is, her husband
sell
is
beer?
the-
What exactly
her
is that?
husband is a-
I don't
an
know
attorney,
anything about
and
501c3.
He did their
is it?
501c3 for.
And-
Is that a
Bel
license
Air.
fee or is that just legal fees that, what is?
You have to
Yes,
file that
yes.
doc stamp and you have to have certain
Okay.
startup fees, will have to have something initially in the account.
And you know how to do all that?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
all right,
And
good.
what, June, what's
I'll
that
back
do
you
for
up.
you?
Huh?
What more does that give?
Okay, so that gives us, we can do certain things that the city can't, okay? But we also, there will be expenses when you do that, so just remember, if you start one of those, okay? You'll have to have officers, so we have to have officers, we have to do an annual report for that.
Officers, you mean police officers?
No, and
No,
officers
corporate
of
officer,
the,
yeah.
of the group.
Of the organization.
Okay.
Right,
Right.
the
You're
organization.
creating an organization, right?
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
right, and so you're
Oh,
creating
I see,
this,
to
right, so
shield
you're,
us from lawsuits, okay.
Right.
Oh, I see.
right, but then we'll
Yeah.
also have to cover liability insurance,
Liability.
so that there is initial
Okay.
outlay.
Just to get the
and
free
then we-
beer at the end.
Just to get
the free beer.
Yeah.
How about lemonade? Isn't that
Well,
easy?
yeah, but you know, here's the thing, if the 501c3 runs it, all the money goes into the 501c3, and anytime the 501c3
The
wants to
city can't.
donate money, no, the city can't grab anything.
That's what I'm saying, they can't grab it.
They can't grab it.
So
So
we
the
use the park.
501c3 though can donate money to the city at
park.
any given time.
Or to
Right.
park and recreation.
Right, just like
So we can
the,
shield our money
right,
from
right,
the city,
right,
which we weren't able to do with that.
correct.
Uh,
Right, and the
right.
city manager actually has said that all along, that we should try to get a 501c.
Okay.
The council, a couple of the council members have said the
Okay.
same thing
That
as
sounds
well,
like a
so,
good idea.
so we'd have to come up with a name. And, so if you're willing to do that, let me just make sure that I think the council's okay with that, and if they're okay with that, then, we would have to have a separate little meeting for that
Okay.
and create all that stuff
Yeah.
and.
That
put it in
opens you
place.
up to more grant money.
And it does open you up to more grant
that's what
money.
I was gonna say.
It
Plus,
absolutely opens you up to
We
more
can
grant
apply
money.
on our own for those.
Yes, we can. Well, and
I
here's the
mean,
thing.
obviously
we-
oversight of
we
council, but
actually
we can
asked the
actually
bar-
do that.
could be
We
more
actually,
independent.
believe it or not, it's in our rules, we actually can file for these
Oh,
grants.
can we? Okay.
We don't have to have, but the
So we read that.
city council always will oversee everything and the city
Yeah.
manager, but
Yeah.
we actually can apply for those grants. We don't have to have the
Right.
city apply for those grants, so, if you were to want to write for a grant, as long as we have their blessing, we're good. So, it's in our thing, we're allowed to do that, so just keep that in mind. So, okay, so I'm gonna work on that
Yeah, let's get that on
501c3,
our
I'm
agenda.
actively gonna work on it, if I definitely have an interest here, I'm gonna go for that then. Okay, so, let's get back to trying to get I have music in the park.
Mhm. Yeah.
Music
That's a
in the
great
park
idea.
is, one of the council members said he would like to have some music here, and music in the park, something very
Mhm.
soft,
Yeah.
but, and it
Sure,
would be a
outdoor
great
concerts.
Sunday
St. Pete Beach
afternoon
does it.
event.
Yeah.
A great Sunday afternoon event. Come listen and bring your
Yeah,
chairs.
Pasagrove probably has one of the best music in the parks I've ever
Probably.
seen.
Is
No,
it on
up to
Sunday
like 6 or
afternoon?
7
Yeah, it's
different
always
ones.
on
Wait a minute,
Sunday,
let me,
Yeah.
because
But
I
it's
want to try to
Sunday,
get this, figure out when we're doing all these things so it's not all on top of each
Yeah.
other.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So music in the
Because
park, I'm
November and
thinking.
December are, we've got stuff going on there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A lot of stuff.
Okay, so
October,
I'm-
we have this, what do you call
Trunk or
it?
treat.
Trunk or, yeah, treat.
Are you thinking about like during a summer month
Yeah.
doing it?
Yeah, summer.
Summer concert series.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we're
Like
not
that.
gonna do anything else in the summer, you're right.
maybe
Yeah, 'cause there's
May,
nothing going
We had
on.
talked
July,
about,
August.
George had talked about maybe wanting to do a cookout, right?
Well, that would be at Morgan, we used
Like
to
a
have
beach
years ago,
party.
Beach
Did
party
you?
at Morgan Park.
Yeah.
The city used
I think
to
that's a great
That's
idea.
that's a great idea.
I think one of the ways you're gonna get
Is
more
Morgan
emails
Park
is to
ours?
get
Is that
neighbors
the
to
one?
meet
Yeah,
neighbors.
That's ours.
Mhm.
No,
Oh,
no, that's
Clearwater.
ours. Nope, that's ours.
Oh, that's a great facility. They have, there's a bathroom there. There used to be the
There- picnic
pyramidal monkey bar.
Right,
thing.
so
That's not there
let's,
anymore,
let's,
huh?
It's got
let's try to
it's
schedule
got
that
picnic
first.
tables and a,
Picnic table.
That was in
and a-
June.
There's a
We were
Gazebo.
pavilion.
talking
That's a
about
great
that.
idea.
There's a pavilion there, and the
I
pavilion
didn't
will
know that was
house,
ours.
what about, I don't know, 6, 8 picnic tables? We
Yeah.
don't have 6 or 8 there, but
we
it
do
was.
have a number there. We
You
have
can
some-
rent
I think
it.
Yes.
It would be a little tight, but
But that's a real nice
Yeah, but we
park,
can
yeah.
take
I
some,
didn't- I
put
didn't know
some
that was
length
ours.
tables down there and use
Yeah.
them as
Morgan
well.
Park?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
well, and you can, the
Great
overflow
park.
could be the marina parking,
yeah.
so that.
But
could be-
can you
yeah.
rent out Morgan Park, or can you,
You can rent it out, if anybody ever wants to rent it out, you can rent out Morgan Park.
because I'm just thinking, hey, because, you know, if it's in June, there's gonna be a lot of people there that.
Because I had
just come
checked
from
into it
everywhere.
about doing it for a granddaughter's birthday party.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you have to cover the
We'd have to
parking
reserve a
spaces,
date,
too,
yeah.
So we'd have to reserve a day, so let's, real quick,
So
so
what
what
are
are
we
we talking
calling
about, like, the end of May,
We were
June?
thinking June originally
June
for
for-
like
for
a
a
beach
grill?
party.
Beach
Okay.
party? Okay.
Beach party in June. That's what I have written
Beach
down.
party in
Okay,
June,
so-
and
so-
then music in the park, yeah, maybe July.
Right, that's what I have.
Well, then there's
written down.
4th of July, so maybe you could tie that together, music in the park with 4th of July.
Or you could do the end of July. Oh, yeah, you could tie it together, I guess.
Just
Okay.
like a 4th of July celebration
You
for
can
music.
watch,
You're
watch the
talking,
fireworks on the beach, clear water from the beach.
you think we'd see them good from Morgan
Oh,
Park?
yeah.
Yeah, we go down on 6 and watch
Okay,
it,
so-
but Indian
so-
Rocks has big fireworks.
Beach
in
party,
the
so that
summer.
would be July 4th, okay? And I'll put Morgan Park.
I go down to the little fishing dock on 20th Street, and you can see
Yeah,
all the
you can see
different
it from
cities blasting off from Clearwater, from Lago Park, from down.
Now
Okay.
this
Somewhere
year,
south.
4th of July is on a Saturday, and then, but a lot of businesses are off July 3rd, so we could do it on July 3rd or July 4th, Friday or Saturday. Because
Music in the park.
a lot of businesses are considering July 3rd, which is the Friday of the
You're talking about
holiday.
the grill out?
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. If you want to do it on the 4th, you could do it on the 3rd, you know, on a Friday.
Or the 5th, or the, because the
Sunday.
Sunday. Because the Sunday, you wouldn't be competing against as much.
So do we want to do the
Yeah.
actual 4th with the
But the problem is there's no fireworks.
I would
That's
rather
what
do
they
the
mean.
3rd or the 4th, because the 5th is my birthday and I really don't want to be working, because when we do these events, it causes me work, and that's,
Because either day there's probably going to be fireworks, the 3rd and the 4th, Friday and Saturday.
right.
Okay.
Well, you know, we're not gonna have as many residents here at that time.
Yeah, I was
too, so-
gonna ask, what happens to the demographics in July?
So, you know, the 4th might be good too, because then it might help keep,
So,
Wait,
so
and-
we're gonna have a band, and so we're saying in Morgan Park? Like a rock band or
no,
something?
I would,
We're-
Or a
Wanna do it
DJ.
right
no,
here?
the
a
music in the
DJ.
park was, we'd just do a DJ for that.
Yeah, do a DJ.
Do a DJ.
Wait a minute, I think we're conflating
Yeah. I
the
think
beach
we're
party
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
no,
the
music in the park is
Music in the
supposed to
park.
be
So
separate.
music in the park will be in this amphitheater area where the
Yeah.
helicopter
Right here.
landing is.
Right
Yeah,
here.
Right
There you
here.
go.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Like
a
where
good
the
saying for
band
music in the
Right.
park.
Okay, so
but-
we're thinking,
And
and
beach party in Morgan Park, but which one are we doing the 4th of July with?
Would
Music
be
in
the
park
beach
or
party, the beach
The
party.
barbecue.
beach party, so
Beach
that's
party.
July 3rd you're talking about now?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
And the
we're
other
talking,
one
that's
would
a
be-
Friday, or do
Mhm.
we want to do it on a Friday?
Well, most people have that day, a lot of businesses have that day off. They're I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I was
Okay.
hearing lately. I don't know if that, is that what you've been
City
hearing?
holiday.
So it's a city holiday
Yeah.
that day.
It's a city holiday.
Unless a lot of people are celebrating
So
that
what do we wanna
day
do, Thursday?
as a holiday. So we
Well,
could
I
do
don't
the
think we
3rd.
need it.
We
Whatever.
can decide later, but
Yeah.
at least we got narrowed down to 2
Mhm.
weeks.
We've
Okay.
got, May
Okay.
is the 5K run. June is the music in the park. July is beach party. Is that-
Right.
So you want June to be the music in the park? That's a good
Yeah.
idea. I like
Yeah.
that.
And then April is taxes.
Right,
That's just horrible.
right.
Had my
Yeah,
birthday.
just keep in mind, we don't have to have something every single
But I do
month.
have
You
one
No,
know,
but it's
idea,
coming up to
sorry,
that
Nicole.
because we're coming up
We were
with
gonna do a
lot of
spring
ideas.
picnic
But
then.
if we have 10 events
I have
a
that
year,
written down, spring
2
picnic in
grand
April.
with each, you've got 20 grand right there. You've got about a third of the third.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Can you use
so you
for
might wanna-
events, can you use in
I didn't hear
the
you,
big
everything
room?
you said, I'm sorry.
It sounds like we almost have 10
Yeah.
events a year. We could
Yeah.
easily come up with 10 events a year.
Right.
On the average, if we raise about 2 grand, that's 20 grand in a year that we're going to raise. And you need 67,700 per year. We're contributing a large portion towards that 60. In other words, it's not a huge leap for the city to say, well, why don't we just give a little extra? And then we get private funds, the city gives a little bit, we give a little bit, and then the federal government comes in and gives the other half. It just sounds like a very doable thing, and something that's very promising considering that you've already gotten a commitment from the federal government to give the money. So it's motivating us to meet that goal, and I think we can achieve that goal.
I think actually $200,000 is really in a 3-year period. We can come up.
You just need
Yeah.
to, you need to knock on certain doors.
I think what we need to do though is we need to get that initial outlay
Yeah.
of money
Yeah.
out there from our community. We need to get that so we can basically knock down the naysayers.
Well,
Okay.
the other thing, it's not unusual at all. Churchgoers give them 5, 10 grand to get their name on a plaque on a
Right.
wall.
Right.
Right.
And so we can get that from our community,
That's right.
to
Right.
get their name on a plaque,
Right.
on exercise equipment or on a dock or something.
Right.
Yeah, that's very doable.
Right,
So we have multiple sources of income, our events, private donors, the money we've already made
Right.
or committed from the city,
Right.
the federal grants, we can tie it all together, we can get this done.
oh yeah, we could get it done, we could very easily
Like I
get
said,
it done.
it's not 5
And
million
then,
anymore,
and
but
actually,
they're
then we
pretty-
can start doing these events if we wanted to, then we could actually do these events through the 501, through the
Yeah,
501c3.
well, that's what we should do.
And not so much
protect
the
that.
city, then we're not governed as bad,
Right.
but yet we still have to report to the city.
Sure.
But you don't have to
Okay.
ask permission.
No,
We don't, well, on certain things, but
You
yes.
report, there's a big, when
Yes,
I ran a board.
yes,
you
yes.
report.
yeah, we can't have like one t-shirt contest
Yeah.
or
Right.
homemade bikini contest or.
Right, right. no.
But I have a suggestion.
But we can.
June, I have a suggestion. When I chaired the ADA over in Tampa, it's gonna sound funny, the guys might not like this, but one of the biggest ways we raised money was we did a tea fashion show for the
And
ladies.
Indian Rocks does that.
Yeah, and
That's
it needs to be
crazy.
during season.
Yeah,
And these stores, these boutiques around here,
Yeah.
they'll just jump.
Right,
And, you
Yeah.
know, they get to, you know, Julie's gets to bring in whatever and,
right.
you know.
and we can
Right.
do it for the children too, for adults and children.
Where would you
Actually,
have it here?
There's 2
You
fashion
August
shows
is
I'm
open.
need to
getting
make
ready
this
to go
room,
to.
this big
You know,
room.
the
And-
10-year-olders like girls.
I'm just
Well,
saying,
and the
August and
fa- the-
September are open.
Right.
The people of the council have to do,
Or
you've
you
seen
can
these
take
all
the
over
wife and
big
kids
charities.
in
Like June,
April
you would
while
be a
I'm
model,
back
Lisa,
doing
you would be a
taxes.
model, somebody's husband would be somebody's
Well,
children.
that'd be
Because
the
then it brings it
month off.
in as, you know, this is
Right,
us kind of
right.
stuff.
And I actually am a model coming up in one in April, so, for my women's group, but, so,
That may be like a January, February, March.
yeah, that could be something
When
like.
it's colder and people want, you know, it's an
Yeah.
inside
Yeah, when
of
it's hot and
that.
sticky, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're fun.
yeah, yeah, they are fun, they are fun. So why don't we just put that on the list?
I really think this banner is priority number 1 because we've got to get
Yeah.
word out to the people. I
I
mean, we're
got
spinning
it.
our
And
wheels
you know
if
what,
we can.
if we can
I'm gonna
get
call
that,
her tomorrow and see if I can't,
right,
because we've got to get that out there and then refer people to the website because we haven't been too successful in the, how long have we really, since you took this board, over 8 months or something like that approximately? No, not even that long.
no, not even that long.
No, 6
Yeah, like
months.
that fall
whatever.
festival
But
would be
people-
gangbusters if we had a banner.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
There was no
Yeah.
advertising, we still had a large showing,
Yeah.
but
That's got to
a
be the
fraction
priority.
of what we could have
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
with
I'll-
just a
I will
simple
call
banner,
Lauren
because the
tomorrow and
traffic
see
is so,
Who they use.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to make sure we put it, because our fall festival so far has been our big fundraiser, so let's get that down. I'm thinking October for that.
or
What did we do
November.
this year? I don't
We did
remember.
September.
We did the hottest day of the
We
year,
did
that's
that
all I
in
remember.
September.
We're thinking about November.
So on-
Wasn't it?
November.
October, we should have a German.
That's what I have
festival.
written down. That's what we talked about last time.
So let's think about November. Okay, so let's get that down. We're gonna do that in November. Is everybody good with that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so festival in November.
And I think we need to have more activities. for
Well,
families
exactly.
and kids.
And so I'm thinking, because they have all these like carnival kind of games that you can rent instead of so much opposed to the inflatables.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but we always want to switch it up though, George, because you got to keep it
Yeah.
fresh. Because if you
Yes.
have the same thing year after year, you're going to lose
Yes.
attendees as well.
I think
Do we know
Dunkin'
what
and
age? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dunkin' and Mary was a huge success. Is he gonna want to be dunked in November?
Yeah, that one we might have to skip this year. Unless we put them in
You
a
can wear a
wetsuit.
wetsuit.
They
Yeah,
did,
right,
but
yeah.
it was one of those participation activities, and we didn't have enough of those.
Yeah.
We didn't
Yeah.
have, you know.
But you know, you can have a pie throwing contest. Okay, we can set that up, or, you know, they have, where you can throw water balloons at somebody's face
Yeah.
and through these little holes and things. We could do the same thing with
Yeah.
whipped cream pies.
Yeah,
Okay, you know, so we could do the same thing
yeah.
and earn the same kind of money in a cooler weather, you know,
Yeah.
situation. So pie throwing thing might be a game we might want to consider as something like that.
Well, I think
You know.
toward the end of the summer, we need to go to this store that we went to last time and say, what do you have? And then make a decision.
Right.
They have a variety of different things that
They do.
people
they
use
do.
all the time.
Yeah, yeah, but we will need to
Yeah.
have at least one inflatable, because all of them
You
have.
could,
at
you
least
could
one.
do a shoot the mayor too. They have these Nerf shooting things. That,
Oh, yeah, no, we don't
Poor
want to put
mayor.
Sabona
No.
on
Don't
Don't
wanna give anybody any ideas.
Yeah,
Have a
let's not
target
go
and
there,
see
yeah,
if it-
no.
But there's so many things, like you can have a shoe race, you take your shoe off and throw it in a big pile and you
Yeah,
run back and forth.
That's true. Or
A
a
potato
beanbag
sack
race.
race.
Soccer race,
A
yeah.
sack
Potato
race,
sack
an
race.
egg,
Beanbag
carry the
race.
egg, don't drop
Yeah,
the
Sure,
egg.
yeah,
I mean, there's
yeah,
all kinds
yeah.
of cheat
Oh,
stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it takes
stuff
us
we
to
can
an
do.
Easter type
Yeah,
event,
yeah.
huh?
I mean, if we
Maybe
have
West
this,
Beach has Easter events with Easter bunny races.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
You know, like you said, the sock hop and stuff.
Yeah.
and if we can get
Do we
shuffleboard
have any
kind
idea
of
though,
thing,
the demographics of the, if there's only 225 kids in the
That's not a
city,
lot of kids.
Right,
how
right.
many are over the age of 16?
Right.
Is that 15?
Yeah, that's a
Right.
good
You know, I mean, I just-
question.
and this-
There's not
a
we
lot of
move
little
on
kids.
tonight,
Right.
But,
Right.
and you know, if you get 25% of the kids, that's a
Right.
pretty good turnout, and
Yeah.
25 of 100 is 25. I'm just thinking
Right, you're right.
value and effort for.
That's why like
Yeah.
a
But it's
sack
not-
race can be an adult thing.
That's true.
You know,
It can
like
be
you
an
and your
adult.
wife.
And
And
Yeah.
that's why I was suggesting even with the shuffleboard
Yeah.
board
That's
thing,
right.
because that can be an adult or child
Sure.
thing,
And
so.
the kids would have fun seeing adults make fools on them.
Absolutely.
That-
Tug of war is
yeah.
always a great one.
Yeah,
Tug of war, yeah.
yeah, yeah. tug
Yeah.
of war.
We
Can't go wrong
can
with
have
tug
the
of war.
council members against residents,
Yeah,
you
something
know.
like
Right,
that.
right. Yeah.
You know.
Tug of war, yeah. it's a good-
Yeah, yeah,
but yeah,
okay.
participation type of things would be, that was what was missing, I think, in
Yeah.
the fall.
Yeah,
You gotta get people talking to each other, that's really
Yeah.
the thing.
yeah. And I think that, here's the demographics, and this is actually increased, but here's a copy of the demographics from one of the realtors within the city. I don't know how.
Can you just read it or?
18 or 20, only 16.
Supposedly, so.
So
Well,
16,
that number's
That's really
increased.
small number.
Bert, can you
According to
read
this-
that to us? Can you
Yeah,
read
The
it?
largest number is 35 to 54, that's
Yeah.
really impressive, that's young.
And so.
There's only 18 kids.
And when we
from-
think about
Below
Are
our.
these
18.
residents full-time
18
residents?
below
Yeah.
18?
So-
According to her, so.
I don't know
This
if I
is out of
believe that. I
1,000.
cannot believe that.
This is out of 1,560 people, 18 or less is 214.
So how many are over 75? That's the one.
Or over
240.
65?
Really?
Over 65.
It's pretty evenly
Wow.
matched. Over 75 is 240, 65 to 74, 341, 55 to 64, 319. The Lions share is 35 to 54. It's a
Yeah.
young community, 410.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
1/3 of the
So
community.
that's why, you know, this grant
People are at their
is
prime.
even more important.
They're at their prime, 35 to 54. And then it gets really low after that, 25 to 34, 90, 21 to 24, 18, 18 to 20, 16, and 18 or less, 214, that's still not bad.
And those are full-time residents or do we not know?
We don't know that, and this is just something that was on next door.
Mm.
That's all I have for now. I actually put a call in to the Board of Realtors they never returned my car. So I actually did that
Well,
last
the
week.
But that's a
female
good
ratio,
start.
49%. All right. So that means most
Okay,
people
so-
are married.
Let's keep moving on. So we're talking about, November for sure for the Festival of Lights at Sea. So we did the holiday celebration with the kids last year.
I forgot we did that too, yeah.
We did that too, so,
That was a success too, the Santa.
yeah.
That was really, everyone
And it
talked
was
about
very
that.
low-keyed and it was.
And I think if it was advertised too, just like the banner, I think we get more. But I
Yeah.
think
Oh my
it was
gosh, I
great.
love
Well, and if that
Yeah.
one could have more,
That was great.
somebody tried to start something, I have to say.
Yeah.
And so I had to pull down the advertisement for it when I found out they were wrong. It was too late. So I was getting a little bit of harassment, let's just put it that way. So if we can't advertise, we are allowed to advertise outside our city, okay? We can advertise on things that might reach outside our city, even though we're not trying to reach them for certain events, okay? But we still can do that. So, but I didn't know that at the time. Now I know that, we're good. Okay, but I didn't want to break any rules and get, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we don't always have to do the same thing every year. I
Right.
think we can rotate it. We don't have to have a trunk or treat again.
Right.
We could have a trunk or treat next
Yeah.
year, okay?
Yeah.
So we just keep rotating, you
Yeah.
know, doing different things all the time. If we just keep mixing it up all the time, have one set or two set things we definitely do every year, okay? But
Yeah.
mixing it up all the time, having different events, I think will help keep it fresh, keep the community interested in coming.
But the trunk or treat
Don't
was
think-
very low
Yeah.
effort. Everybody just brings their own stuff
Yeah.
and kids
But
get
how
to
many
it. So I think
people
we ought
were
to do
really
that every
there?
year.
You think we should-
It wasn't advertised again.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
and-
I think everything we do, I mean, haven't seen a pattern yet, because people, I'll bet less than 5% of the community knew anything about the
Yeah.
December
Okay.
Christmas party.
Yeah.
In
Okay,
spite of our
so,
best
Well, have you
efforts.
ever
So we
thought
have
about
to
a
do
tree
that.
lighting? Like the big Christmas tree?
Oh.
Like they do
have
in
a
Rock
tree
City.
lighting
I
and get
got
some
approached by
choruses to sing
Wayne Ayers,
local?
and he would like to see, we do have this big tree now, this new
Yeah,
tree.
that's
Yeah.
a beautiful tree.
And
You lit
he
that up.
said
That was
take
beautiful.
the most, that our park board would pick the most, the person who has done the most for this community for the year to be the one to turn it on.
And I think
It's a
that
cool
would get
idea.
more people in than the Christmas, I was at the Christmas party, you know that, so I met you.
So you could do it as
You
a
know?
combination thing though,
Yeah.
have Santa
Good.
here,
Yeah.
have cocoa and cookies.
And some
Christmas
chorus.
carolers.
And Christmas
Kids
caroling
choruses for
and-
church or something.
Yeah, we could have those kinds of things here.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily have to do like the,
And it ends up with the
Craft.
boat parade
Yeah.
going by.
And the tree
Yeah, you don't have
lighting
to do
is
the craft thing. You
the
can
tree
do-
lighting. I'll just report from what I've heard from Indian Rock Speech. They do the tree lighting every. I don't know if you've ever been to it. I've heard a lot of feedback from people who've gone, and I said, "Is it fun?" They're like, "Well, you just go, show up, and then you all go drinking at the bars afterwards."
Yeah,
That's
you
what
do
many
something.
people.
No,
So
we're not gonna
do
do that.
So
We
what
would
I'm saying
come
is, has to be
into-
other things
yeah,
besides
we
the tree
would
lighting.
We'd come in,
We
have
come inside
cocoa,
here,
cookies,
yeah, because we all-
maybe some
we have
hot
a nice
apple
facility
cider.
I think people would
Christmas
come to that.
music.
Indian Rock Speech
I do
is
too.
nice. They actually do have a facility.
Yeah.
I think
So we
that'd be
just
good.
keep it very low key, though cookies, cocoa,
That's something people will
bottled
want from the
water,
neighborhoods too.
very, very
Yeah, I
low cost,
agree.
very low work,
Yeah.
and just have the tree and come in and do
Yeah.
some Christmas
And it's
stuff.
changing it up from last year, so it's
And
doing it
so,
different.
okay, so
I
we
like
still
that.
would do it, but we're going to change it up just a little bit. So, okay.
And then the boat
You know what
parade.
time you're supposed to speak tonight?
So, no, so
Is
I'm
this
keeping,
gonna
I'm
be-
keeping, yeah, no, I'm keeping an eye on. So is
One thing
there,
about the tree lighting, just let me say this is, I went to this event too, that everybody, all the families brought an ornament with their name on it,
Good idea.
and they hung it on the tree.
Oh, what a
That's
Yeah,
nice.
that's
What a
good.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea.
Any event
Oh, that's
that we
fantastic.
have.
That's an
that
awesome
starts
idea.
Yeah.
Here at the park back here and ends at the park or is somehow related
Where have
to
you
the
been all
park.
this time?
is important.
I know.
So,
Working, I told you.
what June has to do is selling.
Where do you
each
work?
grant.
I just
Because
retired.
no one
Oh, you
uses the
did?
park.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
We're
we
spending
mentioned.
$400,000
I was
for
the
nothing.
healthcare
Yeah, you're right.
executive.
But if we
at
can
that.
show that we have all these
Okay.
activities planned and
Right.
they're related to the park and the
And then
community.
people who come will see that, hey, this is something I could do for my daughter's 16th birthday or my
Right.
daughter's
Yeah, because
25th,
people don't know.
you know,
No.
wedding or something. It's, Yeah,
right?
showcases
And part of
the
our
facilities.
responsibility is
Yeah.
actually trying to get this building leased out for events too, like weddings and things.
Yeah.
And I'll get you some of the flyers. We promote that as well. We never quote prices, we just give them the contact information.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just,
I didn't know you could rent out the beach too, the Morgan Park. I
You
didn't know you
can
could do
either.
that. You could make a lot of money for the town.
exactly.
Birthday party.
It is, but you have to pay
Yeah.
for the
For
spots as
non-residents,
well.
because residents would
But
just
you
go
have to
there.
pay for the spots as well.
Right.
Because the city would
The
have to
parking
shut them
spots, you
down.
mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
parking spots.
Right.
And then the overflow's now over, is the overflow for Morgan Park the one near
The marina.
That's the one at the marina, but that, they would just have to put their own money in for that.
Got it.
But the spots for us to shut down the physical lot at Morgan Park, we would have to cover that. They would have to cover that expense if they lease it. So, yeah. And if you ever need more of those flyers, Patty will print them for you. So, okay, so anything else?
Yeah,
Okay, so I wanna-
gotta just say, this flyer, this should be put in everybody's mailbox. Because people don't know.
Those are things we
Yeah.
talked about, we just
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah.
I
followed
mean, on my
through with
street,
that.
they're like, what'd you
I-
say?
People do not know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't
They
put them
don't.
in the mailbox, that's a federal.
That's fine,
You have to put
you're
them
right.
Mail 'em.
Yeah,
And
just
we can't, as the
magically
park
slip.
board, we are allowed to, okay? So if we ever do anything, it has to be done as, because we're part of this city. But, you know, you can't do it.
What is that
otherwise you're not
flyer
allowed to do
you're-
that.
Can you
Okay, so let's
do- yeah.
schedule another meeting,
Okay.
He gave me
Okay.
two, you can keep them.
Oh, okay.
okay? So,
Oh, yeah, I've seen
is anybody got any openings for
it, yeah.
next
No, I've
week?
seen it. You have two, okay.
Killing me.
What?
Telling you?
I think my dentist is supposed to kill me next week with.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Bunch of
catch it.
things.
You're trying to
Yeah,
schedule
I'm
another
pretty open
meeting?
now.
Yeah, I'm trying to schedule.
What, at 4:30?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe the 12th
Of February?
of February?
I can't do it, but that's okay. I mean,
No.
No,
we're
we
trying
want to accommodate it.
Okay, so let's try going to the next week, okay? But I gotta get one in the next 2 weeks. So how about I wanna say, that's President's Day.
17?
That's President's Day.
I could do the 19th. I don't know if
That's
anyone else wants to do
Wednesday.
Yeah, no, that's
Wednesday.
actually, they have a planning and.
A work session.
a work session here, so that won't work.
How about the 13th? Does that work for?
I can do the 13th, a Thursday.
Uh-huh.
How about you, Burke? Are you able to do that
Charter,
day?
there's
Um,
charter
I'm available
and,
at 6 or later. not early.
and, yeah, we have a court case and, because he's an attorney, we have a court case. in
21st,
Casper.
Friday?
Have we historically had them on the? I have what about the 18th? Anybody open on the 18th?
If it's after 6.
I can't. do
I
it.
can't.
Yeah.
Okay. And the 17th, we said is a no?
That's a holiday, right?
Yeah,
President's Day?
it's just President's Day.
Doesn't matter?
I can't.
You have a 3-day
Yeah,
weekend for the
yeah.
kids?
Oh, yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah.
Disney passes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
saying we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
get them. Okay, so you were saying the 21st?
Friday,
Yeah,
the
Friday.
21st.
Okay, all right, Friday the 21st. How about, can you come earlier on Fridays?
Yeah.
What about, you okay with that?
I can probably make a 4. I might be a little late for 4 o'clock.
So how about,
How about 4:30?
I could do 4, but I might be a little late. I could do that's the earliest I can do.
So if you say 4:30, you won't be late?
No.
Is everybody okay with 4:30?
I'm
How
okay
about
with
you, George?
4:30.
It's on a Friday, you okay?
Friday, 4:30?
21st?
It looks like it's okay.
Okay,
I'll be tentative on that date.
okay,
You'll be what?
Tentative.
okay,
You will be able to?
Oh, I just don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
4:30 is what you
Yeah.
said?
And that's
So,
the
you're
21st.
tentative? Okay,
And that will be
or
a
what?
special park board meeting. And I have to make sure that everybody knows that that is not a regular park board meeting, that's a special park board meeting, okay? It has a different classification when it comes to city
So it's just
terminology.
to speed things along like the 501(c) and.
All of that. We're gonna still cover a multitude of things. We still vote.
4:30
And,
Saturday.
and we will still vote and we'll still cover a multitude of things, but that'll allow us more time to get some other things done. And anybody who has things, assignments that they're going to do, they can bring them back then. So it's,
Did we
we have
say-
the 21st, it's a Friday, at 4:30 is a special
Is
park
that
board
okay,
meeting.
Rick? 4:30
So
Friday?
yes,
Okay,
Friday.
so not the 13th.
not the
Yeah, the
13th, so
21st.
it'd be the 21st at 4:30, and
Okay.
here on the conference.
Did we vote on anything today? Because if I'm doing the, the minutes, I don't think
We voted
voted
on, let me get back to the agenda, or,
We agreed to do 501(c).
we have
Did we vote
agreed.
on that?
Okay, so we did agree to that. We should vote on that. So I need a motion for that.
All right, I can do a motion to do the 501(c) for the community.
To establish the 501c3 for the Parks and Rec Board.
It wouldn't be,
It wouldn't be the Parks and Rec, but for
Have to be
community
a
events
separate
within
entity.
the city. Or a 501c nonprofit, that's how we would have to head it.
Profit, it's 501.
To benefit this, our main goal would be to benefit the city. Our main goal would be to benefit the city.
Okay.
And then,
So do we have a
So I was
vote?
so I need a motion.
I-
Well, you made the motion, I need
Yeah.
a second.
Got a second?
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
So we're
Opposed?
all saying aye or no?
Yeah, we're all
Yes.
saying aye.
I'm gonna abstain, because I really haven't thought it through, what it means to. I
Okay,
think I'd really like to hear from Lynn. Maybe we can get him to come and talk to us about the pros and cons.
Well,
Well,
can
he's-
we
he
vote on the
actually-
motion
Lynn was
that we
encouraging
look
it,
into
just so
it?
you
I
too?
know, but I'd like to know what the pros and cons
Okay.
are for us.
But we don't have to form it, but you were saying.
I think that's why
It's
it's
We're on
just
startup
get
funds.
started.
We gotta start
It's
it.
not gonna be us that does this, it's some.
We're
other
not
entity.
creating, we're just doing the startup.
all we're doing is to
And
start.
I'm funding the startup to look into it.
Okay.
So with that, do we have a?
I still abstain, so
That's
it doesn't
okay.
make any
We still
difference.
have majority, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You still have majority. Okay, so our agenda for the year, just a general agenda without any certain dates. Are we all good with that? I need a motion for that,
Make a motion
For
that
what?
for our events.
approve the
Event calendar.
events and associated months.
Okay.
I second.
Okay.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay,
George?
passes
George
unanimously.
says yes? I didn't hear from George.
Yeah, aye.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do we want to list at least the months that were in the event
We
that we had?
did, we did.
Yeah, we'll have those in the minutes next time.
Okay, the Morgan Park, okay, so we have Halloween, the Halloween thing
Yep.
was in October.
Trump.
The boat parade was in December. Music in the park was in June. The celebration tree lighting would be in November,
Okay.
and the end of November.
Oh, okay, so that, all right.
After
So we're doing
Thanksgiving.
so we're
That's
doing,
Christmas season.
but we're still doing a fall festival in
We'll still
November,
do it in
right?
the beginning
In the
of,
fall
I would like to do
festival,
the beginning of November. for
Beginning
that.
of November, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have to, they have the tree. Kyle, when do you put the tree up for the city?
We did it last year. I would say that the Monday after the Thanksgiving.
Okay, so see, so-
We did it.
Yeah, so you'd have to have
No,
it.
we did it before. We actually did it.
Before
week
Thanksgiving?
before?
We did. We got the week of Thanksgiving.
Okay,
Yeah,
so if we
before
did it the
that, yeah.
weekend before Thanksgiving week, maybe that would be something to think about. So if you could make a note of that for us, the week, okay? All right, so Festival IC would be in November. The 5K would be,
May 3rd, you
we've decided May 3rd for that.
Morgan Park in June.
Morgan Park would be in June, and then a
Wait a
fashion tea
minute,
show.
wait a minute, I have that music in the park.
Oh, no,
is
Beach in the
June.
Park is in July.
Beach party is July
Beach party is
3rd.
July. Music in the Park is June,
Mm-hmm.
Music and Park.
is
Oh,
June.
okay.
Beach
Right,
party is in
right.
July,
Right.
and then a fashion show tea. We haven't set the date on that, but we'll still put
Probably you
that,
said January.
probably January.
Are we still doing it like an October thing for the Halloween?
Yeah. trunk or
Yeah,
treat.
yeah, that's
Okay.
in here, trunk or treat
Okay.
is in here. Okay, now, I might be reaching out to you all to maybe take the helm of one or two of these events, just so you know.
Well, I'm taking over the 5K with my wife.
You're taking over the 5K, maybe Lisa might consider being in charge of the trunk or treat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do that.
And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so, that way we're kind of all doing our part in this, and I'll pitch in with everything, don't worry,
Well,
but
I know
just
you-
somebody take the helm of each one of these events, so. Okay, so we have a calendar of things, so, we voted unanimously on this? Okay. And then, any other business?
Do we want, I guess you're going to print up for the minutes, that calendar that we just spoke about.
Yeah.
But can we have those
For
sent
the
out
next
to each
meeting,
of
yeah.
us for, just so we have them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
would you be able to have the other minutes from the last thing and then this by this?
I'll definitely have
the
this, and
special
the other
meetings?
stuff I wasn't there, so I've got to listen to all those recordings, and
Okay,
I'll try to stay up to it. I'm pretty busy, but this one I'll definitely have.
okay, so you'll have it for the special meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, so any
Yeah,
other
things that are
business?
fresh in my mind, I can pop it up, things that.
Yeah.
Wait,
This
This
so
is
I-
actually for your park board, book.
Okay.
So I had, her get a new calendar
I
for each
found out
book.
this works a lot better.
It does, but
Yeah, I mean, you
sometimes
put it
people
right in
like
here,
to,
you know.
sometimes people like to see a big calendar, so. Okay, so is there any other business?
So.
I make a motion.
I
I
beat
second.
you, George.
Car show, we forgot about the car show.
The car show, wait a minute, the car
Yeah, we're gonna
show,
put that in all our.
The car
months
show
and
is
then-
on,
we already had that
in
one.
March.
Remember that?
the
You changed the date, it's
March
March
22nd.
22nd, on
22nd.
Sunday.
Sunday, March 22nd.
Sunday, March 22nd.
perfect. So now we have March, we don't have April, we have May, June, July.
Yeah, February.
Yeah.
Do we have February?
Yeah, February's
Are we doing a spring picnic
Well, we
in
can
April?
add to that, because once we get more in place,
Yeah.
I have to take and get it approved yet too. So
We
this
have
is just a
enough of that.
tentative schedule
Yeah.
we have for upcoming events for the year.
Are we
don't
doing
have
a
to do it in
spring,
February, yeah.
like a Easter thing in April, or no, too much?
No, the Easter
Might be
we
too
talked
much.
about, there's not enough children.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just not.
But you
a-
could do an Easter scavenger hunt in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
For adults.
For the adults.
My community used to do a pumpkin hunt.
A what hunt?
They called it a pumpkin hunt. Get clues, it takes you to another box full of clues. That takes you to another box. First one to the pumpkin wins some prize.
Okay, I hate to cut you guys short, but I actually
Yeah.
have to give a report, so. All in favor of closing the meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
nays? Meeting adjourned.